and I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny. It's time to start the show. The gang is ready. Let's go. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam.
It's happening, you guys. It's happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wish you were over here.
Stop the hammering.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Look for the purple, but then until they put us in trouble. Let's go.
Welcome to the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
We're waiting for Sharon Osbourne to come. They're saying that she might be here, which is good, and now they're fixing the mics. We're in a very small studio here.
We're in the studio. If you've seen the video that we did with Bill Burr, that's the studio that we're in right now. Let me turn off this PC so I don't accidentally hit that thing.
Okay, we're here.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're ready.
you
can, whenever they get here, just bring them in.
Yeah.
You want both of them on the air?
Yes.
Is it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
Whoever comes.
Okay.
Who's both of them?
Brad is also coming.
No, Brad can wait outside.
Okay.
Okay, so who's coming? Who's
Sharon.
Sharon.
Ozzy's here. Okay, Jim's.
Let me make sure that.
Okay.
I don't know if this wasn't discussed before. Or
I don't know.
To bring them in.
Yeah, don't worry.
Where are they?
You didn't.
Be right back.
Yeah, bring them in. What are they doing?
Jim, unfortunately, she's never dealt with Ozzy mode before. She has no idea.
Yeah,
we're recording.
We're good.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
I love it. I love that the LA people are now getting a whiff of they should be aware of what it's like when Jim's in Ozzy mode.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just found out that he might be coming up, and he's here.
He's the Prince of fucking Darkness.
So I want to say hello to him at least.
What do you mean say hello to him at least? Like he might not hang out?
If he doesn't go on the air, I would just leave you here and I'd go talk to him. I'd be like, look, why don't you interview Sharon, see how she's doing.
You think that would be the best way?
I'll go sit with Oz for a little bit.
Well, so it's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We're in Los Angeles for the week. Last night we had X-Pac and Burt Kreischer on, and today,
which was a crazy fun show.
We've got a bunch of people coming in. We got Jesse Joyce coming in. We got Brad Williams coming in. I think Mike Tyson's going to be calling in at one point, and we knew that Sharon was coming up.
Yeah,
and we knew she was coming up on the early side of things. What we did not know was that Ozzy was going to be with her.
I was hoping, but I didn't want to push for it. And it was funny. Jenny just came in and goes like, "Is Ozzy? What are they waiting for? Bring him in."
So that one of the people we were just talking to on the air was Jenny, who's the talent person here in LA, and she's like worried that it wasn't discussed that Ozzy was going to be on with us.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know Jim well enough to know that there is no chance.
There's no discussion.
She's like, "Oh, I know it wasn't discussed with you. Would you guys be okay if Ozzy was with Sharon?"
If she said, "Look, I know it wasn't talked about, but Ozzy only agreed to come on if someone cut Sam's throat." I love Sam, but I would do it.
And you're a man of self-sacrifice too. We were like panicking just before we got on the air because we're only set up for 3 mics in this studio.
Yep.
Again, if you watch the video we did with Bill Burr, if you watch the video we did on that first run of LA shows right after we started, you can see this small studio we're in. And we're set up for 3 microphones. And once you found out Ozzy was coming in, he could there's a spare mic that usually we would give to if we were in New York, what would be the couch mic?
If Brad Williams comes later, he will have this mic.
Right.
I will not be using it.
But because Ozzy and Sharon are here,
they get real mics.
They get real mics.
The Osbournes get mics.
Jim, self-sacrificer that he is on the he's on the intern mic, as it were.
Yes, I am. Oh.
What?
Ozzy doesn't want to come on. I do want to say hi to him. Oh no!
Who texted?
Oh,
you?
that was Jenny. Oh, okay. Ozzy doesn't want to come on. Oh no!
Travis, back in New York, I want on my soundboard. I want. Oh, Ozzy doesn't want to come in.
Oh no!
Is that sad for you?
No, it's okay. I would love him to be here.
What's your preference?
That he's here.
Okay, that's it.
I do want to go say hi to him though.
Okay, so am I gonna maybe be manning the ship? Solo while are you gonna become the guest greeter?
Yeah, I'll go out and speak to Ozzy. I have to go say hi to him.
Right. Maybe we can at least. We should get him once that we're done with Sharon and we're taking photos with Sharon and stuff. We should Would you be okay getting a photo with Ozzy and Sharon together?
If he wants, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hello, Sharon.
Sharon.
How are you?
How are you?
See you.
You look positively radiant. Of course,
take
come
a
on
seat.
in. Take
so
a
Ozzy
seat.
didn't want to come. I know, but that's why he wouldn't come in.
Jim is all worked up because
I got an extra mic. I was all happy.
You found out Ozzy's here.
We'll get him in at the end.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. I would like to at least say hello to him. I haven't seen him.
So how are you, Sharon?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm great.
What are you guys doing after?
Nothing. Why? What are you
Grab that
doing?
mic. Pull it up a little closer. We're on. This is the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're good to go.
I'm not doing anything. We're just kind of hanging out. I thought maybe you guys had someplace to go.
No.
So he just comes out with you during the day?
Yeah. Sure.
Why do I think that's so odd that a married couple goes out?
Well, I don't know. Usually, I mean, there's always people will bring their spouses with them, sure, when they're doing press or whatever. But it's just, I guess, because you're a big Ozzy Osbourne person, you don't think of him in that vein of just a
Well,
of a
no, he's
husband.
Ozzy. He's probably got stuff to do.
But it's like I'll go with Ozzy to some of the stuff he does, and he comes with me to some of my stuff. So it's like,
But he doesn't like to come in and just sit. He probably should have come in and just sit. I mean, it's just kind of be nice to have him in there smelling good.
To just sit like we won't.
just,
we won't
just
talk
to
to
have
him.
here. Not one word
No.
would we say. Not one.
No, we'd just be like, Ozzy, if you just want to monitor the interview to make sure that Sharon doesn't get into
Exactly.
any trouble.
Trouble.
Sharon,
Is he in that little room back there? That little green room area they have? Where they have you guys sitting?
In somebody's office.
Are you gonna go search the offices?
Ozzy Osbourne is just sitting in an office at Sirius
Well, you
XM.
go find him and we'll talk.
Yeah, we could actually do the interview, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
I don't want to pull him in though if he's tired. Or
He could
whatever.
act as your publicist. He could be
Yes.
sitting here
Yes.
asking. You're asking the wrong questions. He's the beacon of responsibility, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Maybe I could text him. I'll just text him and have him come in.
Yes, do that.
You know, Sharon. I have to tell you, I've been teasing Jim a lot
Go on.
because obviously your whole family knows Jim at this point, and you know he's been a fan for so long and he's so loyal to you guys. But he was excited because he had Ozzy's cell phone number, and
You gave it to me. You're like, oh, just call him or
Yeah.
text him.
right. Because he's a person. He's in show business. Like he can handle that.
Look up. I'm going to try to get him in.
But at the
Okay.
he just took a selfie. But at the same
Go on.
time, there's still a lot of Jim that's that boy that grew up listening to Black Sabbath and that's still a fan. So you know, it was a day of celebration until Jim has texted Ozzy twice
Oh, in a year. I don't
in a
abuse
year,
text.
and they're legit texts. I asked him what they
You
were.
can text him anytime,
But
but don't get him started because I'll tell you what he does.
What does he do?
He does things like he'll text Slash and he'll go, "I've lost my cat." But it's just stupid things. Have
Right.
you seen my cat?
But did Slash help him find it?
No, Slash doesn't even answer because he thinks he's nuts. And then he goes, "Oh, terrible about the Titanic," and like ridiculous things. And so people go, "What?"
Now, is he goofing around or is he actually thinking to himself like, it's a shame about the Titanic?
No, he's playing.
goofing.
Yeah, he's
So
goofing.
He would probably be very upset if he told me his cat was missing, and then you'd say, "Where's Jim?" And he's went to the airport. He's on his way to help find the animal.
Flew to Los Angeles. The reason we tease Jim is because after 2 texts, he's gotten no response from Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
Not,
That's okay.
not,
I
not a
assume that
response.
I thought you might have lost his phone. The poor guy.
Did he lose his phone?
No, but he changes his number a lot.
Oh,
we'll
no.
check the number.
Which it's probably the right number.
I probably sent it. Did I just send a picture of us to the wrong person?
No.
Oh,
Sharon,
no.
Sharon just gave me an assured nod that he did not change his number.
I don't know.
he,
Let's
he
see.
didn't. He chose not to
Oh.
text
I won't
you
read
back.
any of you. Tell me if I just erased all my text messages with my girlfriend. I'm really upset.
Jim
By
is in a.
mistake.
Jim
Why
is in
did
a-
you erase
It was a
them?
mistake.
Oh,
Sharon, I have to tell you, Jim is
Go
in a
on.
very weird space right now because we're
Is
in.
that the right one? Well, put it down so that they can't see on the.
Right.
yeah.
That's his phone. That's even better. Jim is in a very, very weird space right now. Yesterday, he was very depressed because he was going through trouble. He's got a girlfriend,
A breakup.
and it's his first many, many, many years. His first I'm really going to be serious about this relationship. I'm going to
He
behave
falls
myself.
falling in love.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm in love, and so yesterday I see him, and I hadn't spoken to him in a few days, and he was just said, "Hey man, do you want to get started? I'm having a rough day." And I was like, "Uh-oh." And so we got to the studio, and he's like in this fight or whatever with his
Yeah,
girlfriend,
you know how it
and
is.
he's worried that it's going to end and stuff. So he's depressed all day yesterday. Today, things are better again because he spent a long time on the phone with her yesterday.
A good
And
2-hour
You
talk.
talk through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no yelling, no insults, no name calling. First time ever for me. Like in a relationship, we're not screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Just talk.
That's good for you. That's a very adult thing to do.
How do you
Yeah.
is that how you and Ozzy do your thing? Are you able to speak civilly when there are problems that you have to work out, or is it a lot of name?
No, it's name calling and throwing things, and it's emotional because I think that if you love someone,
Yeah.
there's a lot of passion, a lot of emotion. I think when people don't do that, they really don't think a lot about you. I expect it to come along with it.
Right. Or they're lying about how they're
Yeah,
feeling, right?
yeah.
They're just trying to act like, oh, this is I'm being irrational.
Yes, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Who's the one to more likely start screaming and throwing things?
We both are,
You do?
unfortunately. Yeah, we're both that person.
Who's the better apologizer?
Ozzy.
Is he really?
Really?
Yeah, he really, yeah.
You don't apologize so easily?
I do,
Yeah.
but Ozzy is really, really, heartful when he says it, and it's like I'm sorry, I
Right.
do the kids thing, and he's like very emotional.
But I guess that's why like you're the businesswoman and he's the artist, right? Like that's when it starts to come out. His
Yeah.
emotions start to come
Yeah.
out, and you're more no, this is what I said, and this is what's going on.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing.
You are good.
Yeah,
You've been really open.
good.
After all that happened, you went out and did interviews and you talked about it and you were really open about things, which is kind of nice that the family is still open about what's great and what's not great.
Yeah.
You know what was
And
impressive about your family is that Jack I interviewed like not that long ago when you guys were, when the newspapers were reporting on your problems or whatever, and he was the same way. It was like just being open and honest and just kind of talking about it, you know?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think when you're in for the long haul and you're in for so many years, even though we've been married 35 years, I've still known him over 40 years. We've been friends for over 40 years. So things happen. And for reasons you don't, I had to do with it too. I wasn't always around. I was busy working on my thing where I'm usually with Ozzy all the time.
Yeah.
And, for a few years I hadn't been with him all the time, and things happen.
Does it make you feel nervous now to go away at all? Do you have that or no?
I don't like to leave him because I know he doesn't like to be left on his own. I'm not nervous about him. I just really don't like to leave him.
So like when you come out to do interviews, does he like, I'm just going to relax? And you're like, no, you're coming.
Oh, no, not like
for like
that.
2
I
hours.
thought
In the
you meant
office.
like in another country or touring. No, not like, no.
Yeah, okay. No, you guys are. And when you found out and everything went through, and did you think like at one point like, this is finished, or did you always kind of know like I think that we're going to work it out, or was there a point where you're like this is done?
I didn't know whether I could control myself to ever be back in a relationship with him because I was so broken. I was so like, I couldn't really get it together mentally. And then it just broke me, and I didn't know whether I was the one that would be able to continue.
And you never get to a point, I guess, because men are so much different than women in that area. Women become, not that women don't have desires, but women become so much more about the love, and guys are just dumb animals. It's what we do. We're all the same. So is there ever a point where you're like, he's just being a guy or whatever? Does it ever become easier, or does it always feel like, no, that's a betrayal?
Certain things to me are a betrayal, and certain things where, listen, I was brought up on the road. I know the way it works. I know what goes on, but it's if it's somebody that you're never going to see again, you don't even know their name, really wouldn't recognize them again, it means nothing. But if it's somebody that you've seen over time and you're regularly doing this with a certain group of other women, it's like, nah.
Because then there's an emotional component to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to remember your conversations with these people afterwards, not knowing. Like, there is a whole other thing that goes into it.
course.
Like, I talked to her that day.
That's right.
I got caught dirty texting someone.
Oh, my God.
I've talked. I accidentally printed the text. My ex-girlfriend found them, and one of the places I was doing it was at an Ozzy concert. She goes, "You motherfucker! I was standing right next to you," because it had a date timestamp on it. So when there's a frame of reference, it becomes harder.
But can you believe that? Can you believe that he was accidentally
Dirty
hits the-
texting.
But did
How
he-
dare you at an Aussie concert?
No, the opener.
How could you?
The opener was on.
Oh, doesn't count.
But that he hit the wrong button and she found the texts in the printer. He printed the text.
Yeah, she found them. 7-page PDF file of my text messages, and
I mean, is that the craziest?
she said the worst part of it. She goes out with your fucking LOLs and your little winky faces. Oh, she wanted to cut my throat. She was really angry.
Is this the girlfriend that you're with now?
No, this one is newer. I've only been with this one for we've only been exclusive for a month, and I met her about back in December. But I think I'm in love. It's like the first time in a long time. I've been talking about it a lot because it's kind of weird. Like I'm not sleeping with other people. It's like it's bizarre to be with one
It's
person.
good.
Oh, my phone is. Let's see who's texting me. I would normally not check during.
Who was it? Who texted?
Come on.
Yeah, Jenny wants to know if Brad is cool waiting.
Yeah, guess who that text was? It was me. It was me on the group text that Jim's on.
Oh, I thought.
No, I knew you were going to be disappointed.
No, I wasn't disappointed. I'm like, you never know.
I had just texted, and it wasn't Ozzy.
And I might be seeing you guys at one point this week anyway. I know there's other stuff.
Yeah, you're going to come on Thursday?
Yes, we have
What's
to come
going
over
on
Thursdays.
Thursday, they're showing at the ArcLight the video we did of the last show of Sabbath in Birmingham from February 4th was filmed, which was their last show, and it's being shown at the ArcLight. And just before the film starts, over the road at the Palladium, we're doing an Aussie pop-up store, and you can buy tickets for Ozfest and merch and all of that. And KLOS is going to be there.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Is there going to be like exclusive merch and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's. Are you going to get anything? Do you think?
Yeah, I will.
You will?
Yeah, I'll go. I will. I'll go. I'll pay for it.
Of
I just
course.
had 3 Shepherd Ferry Sabbath posters framed for my, those posters that he made for the tour?
They're so great.
They really are great.
So great.
For the 13 tour. So I just went and got those framed and done. And I was very happy. So you guys are doing this. I was in New York and I'm like, is that to say Sabbath the End? I was like in the Village and I saw in a theater they're advertising for the 28th. So how come only one day? It's only one day.
Because it wasn't really made for theatrical release. It's a DVD, but they're putting together some bits that aren't on the DVD, extra
Sure.
that you can see in there, but that's all it is.
Who comes up, because you guys have such good promotion, who
Yeah.
comes up with all of these amazing, cool ways to get the idea out there without just seeming like you're promoting? Like, is that you or your publicist or whoever does it? Very creative. Being in a position that Sabbath are in, they can pick and choose who they want to work with. So we have the luxury of working with people who are at the top of their game. So it's... Oh, okay.
Do you enjoy as time goes on, like you guys have to figure out new ways to promote and new ways to make money? Like, just the industry is evolving and changing, and it's more and more difficult, especially to keep up with how and what and the best method of things. Do you like that this evolution is happening, or do you really wish you could just take a break and do what you've done in the past?
It's exciting. It's what makes life exciting, that nothing stays the same in life.
Right.
Nothing. So as far as the industry goes and, social media, it's constantly moving. So it makes you can't... I love it because you don't become old-fashioned. If you keep up with what's going
Right.
on, you have to know what's going on. So it keeps you on your game.
Some people do continue to promote the same way, and they're like, social media. And it's like, no, it's valuable. It really helps.
Well, do you feel like you guys get enough credit for I mean, you've been that way for a long time. I think people thought you guys were kind of nuts when even the Osbournes came out, and it kind of started, it revolutionized television. And like you look now, and Ryan Seacrest gets all this credit for coming up with the Kardashian thing, but it's all based on the Osbournes, isn't it?
It's always great to be first with anything.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's good.
Yeah.
What did you think about those? And you tweeted that was it Kylie Jenner, which one of the Jenners had the rock shirt with Ozzy's face on it and her?
They actually did 2 of Ozzy, and they did who else did they do?
Tupac.
Pink Floyd, Tupac, The Doors. Zeppelin, and it's like, hey, like, just a minute. Can you imagine if Ozzy had done the reverse?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'd buy the shirt as long as he was on it.
But it's like there's certain things you don't touch, and to go with the icons of this industry that they're not a part of and think that they can do what they want, it's very disrespectful.
Right. And yeah, I mean...
Hold on. Jenny, can who come in? If it's Brad, he has to wait a few minutes. If it's Ozzy, bring him in. We'll break the window. We can just walk right through it.
Yeah, I think they're...
We have to wait for the phoner.
It's Tyson.
Tyson's trying to call.
I don't
We
see
have
it.
to get back. We have to call back.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't see it ringing anyway.
No.
So
So, go on.
it's
I'm just getting these weird texts. They're like,
Yeah.
Brad's outside, Tyson's calling, Ozzy's in the green room. There's two people that want to come in and like make them wait, and the one guy want to come in is
it's
relaxing.
just like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing it. It's chaos around here.
It really is a mess.
Were you? I mean, speaking of television, you're a good person to ask about this.
Sure.
Not you, Jim. Were you surprised at what's gone on with Donald Trump? I mean, you got to know Donald Trump on a certain level by doing Celebrity Apprentice, right?
Yes.
Is this something that you're like, when he announces he's running for president, are you like, I know this guy, like this is going to go all the way, or were you like, this is a complete joke? What is?
I just thought that he was building his name worldwide. So,
Right.
it would be bigger, in the Arab Emirate countries and bigger in Russia and China because he's running for president. So it was good for his business overall. So I thought, oh, Lord, there's going to be, Trump hotels around the world now because it's good for the brand. And I never thought for 1 minute that he would win.
At what point
Never.
did you start to go like, whoa, this might happen? Or was it just that night, like the rest of us, like the night that the election happened?
Right.
I see. When they say they do these surveys and survey says, it's like, who the hell do they talk to?
Right.
Yeah,
Who
all those-
is it that does this?
all these
Who-
pollsters, these anonymous
It's
pollsters,
like,
yeah.
what, how, and who? And I never get it. So I would never bet on that. So it was sort of like, but I mean, who knew really that it was going to end up like this?
I didn't think it was going to happen.
It is. I didn't either, and it is a little weirder than I thought. The idea of it was appealing just because it was so crazy and different. Now it's happening. It's a little bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a little. It takes.
It's very sad what's happening around the world right now. It's very, very sad. There's stuff happening in England where people there aren't happy with who's running the country. There's a very bad feeling in this country about what's going on right now politically. And it's just, it's a really sad state of affairs.
Yeah, it's different from like, you always have people who are against the president or whoever it is. Like
half the country always hates whoever's in charge.
but not like this.
But
Not like, it's not this.
But I think
divisive.
the difference is that people are frightened.
Mm-hmm.
And before they could say, oh, this guy's a whatever they want to call him. But I don't think people have been actually physically afraid before.
Did you like him as a person?
To be honest with
Yeah.
you, he was always very, very nice to me. And so was his wife. She was lovely.
Yeah, I think she's gotten a bit of a bad rap. Like they
Yeah.
I felt really, really bad for her from day one because she didn't sign up for this. She signed up for Trump hotels.
Sure.
And
Right.
she didn't sign up for the first lady. And it's like, some people aren't comfortable with leading such an open life and, public speaking and things like that. It's not their thing. So it's very hard for her. And I think that with knowing that your husband is disliked as well as, adored by some people, but so many people dislike him. It's got to be hard on her.
Especially, sorry, Sam. Especially
No,
like
go ahead.
so many of our friends are immigrants or gay, and both those communities hate his guts. And it's
Yeah.
like they're all your friends.
It's not just disliked. It's like, he's a racist. He's a Nazi. That's not stuff that you want to be reading about your husband.
No, it's not. It's really not. And two, it puts her son in a position, I feel really bad for her.
Do you get
And
crazy
her
if
son.
people write bad stuff about Ozzy? I've seen you kind of go after people who have said things about
Sure.
him. You get very protective.
I'm always very protective if it's not true. If it's true, hey, you have to take it on the chin. But if it's not,
Right.
then it's...
How's Tony doing? Tony Iommi, for anyone that...
He's great. He's doing really, really good. He went on holiday a couple of months ago, and he's good.
Does he still have to go for treatment? Is that one of those things that's ongoing forever? Like I thought I read that he had to keep going and keep going.
He goes every 6 months.
He does.
For checkups every 6 months, yeah.
And is Ozzy happy to be doing the solo stuff again? I mean, after you do something for so long, it's got to be like, all right, I want to switch now and go back to this.
I mean, it's great to be back with Zach, and, it's fantastic to see them together. And, Zach's always been in our lives since he was 18, but to be back in our lives again working is fantastic. It's like, it's family again.
Well, is Zach sober now? I think
Oh, my Lord, Zach's been sober 8 years.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's got to be a little easier for you to know that they're going on the road and you know that one is not going to be a bad influence.
And, nobody drinks in the band. Not Tommy doesn't drink and Blasco doesn't drink. So it's great.
Yeah, it's got to be scary, too. If someone's going away for 2 months to tour and it's like there's nothing but bad influences around it, it's hard being a musician because people just give you whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to work for it. You don't have to go out and look for it.
Hey, you turn up at a hotel and there's drinks left for you from the manager and this and that, and it's everywhere.
Yeah, or people at you're at a restaurant, somebody at a table over there like, oh no, I need to buy a drink for it. And
I've never had that happen.
Is that right?
No, no one's ever
that's too
just
bad.
set me a drink from a table.
That's too bad.
I'm going to send you milk.
I can't drink it. It makes me fart. It's really, milk is very bad for me.
Is it dairy doesn't do well?
No, not at all. It hurts my stomach. It makes me gassy.
I've been in the car with Jim after he has ice cream. It's a really unpleasant experience.
bad.
It's not good.
I remember we were in the car going. I was with Sharon and Ozzy and somebody else, and he farted, and you made him roll the window down. And I was very disappointed.
You wanted to just live in it?
I'm like, yeah, just show some respect. Leave the window up.
Oh my God, I'm going to gag.
We all have to take it. So the end is going to be a DVD coming out on Friday, and the Palladium pop-up show is Thursday.
Yes.
A pop-up store.
Pop-up store, yeah.
Pop-up show. Where I'm really getting everybody's hopes up waiting for a show, and it's just a bunch of shirts.
Yeah.
Well, we can make them move to the music.
Sure, yeah.
And what kind of stuff is going to be there? Are you going to say any specifics, or is it just merch in general?
It's merch in general, yeah. Yeah,
Funny.
it is.
What?
No, I love those things, those event things for artists that you like. I mean, it's just that's what you do as a fan. Like, 'cause that's what you want, right? Like that connection.
And stuff that you can't normally find other places.
Yeah.
To kind of go there and just buy it at a special thing is really nice. I've been getting into old rock shirts. I bought this is one of the reasons I lost weight is because there were old Sabbath shirts, like a Technical Ecstasy tour shirt that I was just too fat for. So I bought it for like $400.
And you went, I am going to get in this.
Yes, and now I'm afraid to wear it because I don't want to spill anything on it.
$400 t-shirt.
Yeah, it's a $400 t-shirt. But there's like this whole thing now with rock shirts and things from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And in the 70s.
I'm going into Barney's, Neiman Marcus, $450 for an old Sabbath shirt. I'm like, where the hell did they get this?
I knew things were different when I went to like H&M and there was Nirvana shirts everywhere. You're like, this is just the world we live in.
Well, they're not real shirts anyway. A lot they're probably remakes, right? They're distressed and made to look old.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is weird how the distressed look. It's almost like it's a bunch of people who are rich trying to look poor. I don't understand.
Trying to look edgy.
Is it edgy?
Trying to look edgy.
Because it's not
I've
like-
got some edge.
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
It's got to be distressed in the right way. Like it still has to be the right cut. It's still, the holes have to be in the right spots. Like it can't actually look like a beat up t-shirt naturally ages, right? It has to be that sort of, I have a little bit of edge to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like,
I
ooh,
had
so
this
dangerous.
when I was at college.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Did you?
Do you like that, or do you think when people have a certain type of edge that's not real, you obviously see right through it? Do you look at that and go like, ugh, or do you think it's cute that they're trying?
I think it's cute that they're trying. I do, because really people do want to have an edge to them. I think so many people want to have that cutting edge and they don't. And you can't buy it. You know, you really can't.
Do you think it's more difficult to have that edge now than it was before? Just because of the social media, because everybody's watching everything and everybody's so critical of everything?
You watch people now and they something which I never understand is they all want to look like each other. And that's something that I never quite get.
Yeah.
You know, you look at people, the true pioneers in this industry. You look at somebody like Bowie, who, every every year, different look,
Yeah.
different everything, different attitude to
And it didn't
life
look like
even.
anything.
Nobody looked like him. And it's so great when you can get two individuals that have their own thing going. Because as I say, you can't buy it.
Right. Do you think that's happening with? What do you think's happening with rock music now? Because you're somebody who has always kind of had your finger on the pulse of that, just because of the festivals that you guys have put on. Do you think that rock isn't at a place where it can make a comeback and
Or does it need a comeback?
right, or is it going to be that niche thing,
Or is it
where
fine?
It's got its audience,
I
and that's
think
who's there for it?
that right now, today, it's a niche thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen in the future. That's one of the great things none of us do. So it's a genre of music that is a genre that will never die, never go away. It's there, but it's nichey. And who knows? It's everybody, I don't care who you are, loves a great rock band.
Right.
They do.
Do you obsess over things like ticket counts for the festival and all that? Like, are you like that? Like when things go on sale, do you panic and go like, wow, this is not what it was 5 years ago? Or?
You have to. You have to, because you can't rest on anything. You just can't. You can't take your eyes off anything. It's not going to happen naturally. There's too much competition.
So what do you do when you start, if like say the festival goes on sale or a show, what is your next level? Like, okay, this is not doing what we wanted to do. We have to sit down and figure this out.
Right. So you pull in everyone that's marketing the show or the tour, and you pull in and you go, all right, what are we missing here? Where is there holes? Who doesn't know about this that should know about this? And it's, you have to watch yourself very carefully, because as I say, there's so much competition.
Do you keep your eye on everybody closely?
That works for me.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, we are so blessed, Ozzy and I, because we have people that have been with us 28, 30 years that have been working for us. And so everybody, knows what they have to do. We've got a great team of people.
And it goes back to that family thing that you were talking about before, where it's
Yeah.
like you can't help but trust these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're part of who we are.
Yeah.
I'm getting text after text from people I don't want to talk to. It is
How
amazing.
dare they? Don't
that's
they
so-
know you're busy?
And it's like, but normally he would just ignore them. It wouldn't be an issue. But because you think it could be the text.
No, he's busy. I'm not gonna. No. I'm just thinking it might be from my girlfriend.
But you're checking every single text that
Yep.
you get.
Is she in New York?
No, she's overseas. She's in Europe.
What's her name?
I'll tell you off the air, because if I tell you on the air, people.
Her name's Edgar.
Yeah,
Her name's Ed Greena.
yeah. No, I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
But the fans can be a little rough sometimes.
Yeah. You have to figure out exactly where that line is. Like where's the line that we're going
What
to
do
let
you want to
people
share?
in?
What
Exactly.
don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, because they get like what when they hate me, sometimes they go after people. That's how it is with any performer. If people hate you, they will go after people that you.
I mean, you of all people know you had to deal with your kids becoming public figures.
Oh, listen, I've said things about different artists, and then all their fans come and
Attack you.
attack me. I laugh because I think
You
I
don't
love
care?
it. I think it's funny, but it's like, some people can't laugh at it, but it's.
Right.
Who was the worst fans? Who had the hardcore fans that you were like, wow, they really care?
I think Nicki Minaj.
Oh, did you go
Oh,
after
so
her?
that's like
Yeah.
recently. So the Nicki Minaj fans are worse than the Juggalos. In terms of a force to have to deal with.
They're tough, let me tell you, but funny.
What happened with her?
What are the Nicki Minaj fans called, by
Can
the way?
we swear on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. She did this. It's a long time ago, actually, but she did a cover for her single of Anaconda.
Right.
And I said that the picture wasn't great. It looked like a cheap, grainy porno picture.
Was that the one where her
It
two
was-
ass cheeks were up in the air?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
I had a
Yeah.
different take on that photo, but
Oh, I'm sure you did, but it wasn't. I just thought it looked, nasty.
Right.
And not that because of her ass, she's got a fabulous ass. If it was mine, I'd show it off too.
Right.
But it just, anyway. So I said that on TV, and then these insults came. Oh my God, they were fantastic. One of them said, "You're just a dried up old cunt." So then I said, if my cunt could talk, it would agree with you.
But it can't because it's thirsty.
Yeah.
So, you just got to laugh.
Right.
And there's no defense to when someone responds the way you did with that. There's nothing else they're going to say. It's like,
No.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I actually kind of like her.
Yeah.
No, you. I guess you have to be ready for that too, because you're on the talk, and you have to have an opinion on everything.
Yeah.
So now those opinions are coming out every day.
I
Like,
give you one today. We
Yeah.
were talking about Donald Trump today
Right.
on the show, and we were talking about what went on with the NFL and, guys going down on one knee and we all gave our personal opinion, and I just said, hey, that's what's so wonderful about this country is freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
And people have the right to demonstrate and they have the right to say what they feel. And, all of these go back to England. What the fuck are you doing in our country? It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah.
Right? What? Listen, go tell someone who gives a fuck about what you think.
right.
you don't care. You're not concerned with their criticism.
No, because I appreciate, because that's their opinion, then they should appreciate my opinion. Nobody's going to agree. There's no unanimous way to deal with it.
And there shouldn't be.
There shouldn't
right?
be.
It's what makes this country great.
Right.
How did you avoid caring about this, the idea that you have to watch what you say, and that if you say something the wrong way, you're going to be thrown off TV, you're going to lose that, and you don't seem concerned with that at all. So how did you avoid falling into that, like, I have to watch everything I say?
You do on daytime TV. You very much have to. I think I love the women that I work with. I mean, Cheryl.
Sure. Yeah, she's a great comic. Show into it.
Yeah. you always say.
She's fantastic. I mean, all the girls are great. And the network, CBS, has been so great with me that I have enough respect for them that they've given me a position, and I don't want to take advantage of that position.
I mean, even in general, just in life, like in interviews and in on Twitter or whatever it is, you've never worried, like, all right, I'm going to say this and I have to say this very carefully because there's going to be a problem if I don't say it.
Let me get with my team and figure out the statement that we're going to say about, like, how are we going to...
Yeah.
Right.
No.
You don't go to other people to help them speak for you. You just kind of say what you want to say. And that's what's worked out obviously well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of actors and
It's scary.
public figures. Yeah.
It's scary because people... And part of it is probably because you do so much, and you and Ozzy are so independent about the way you do things that you don't need these gigs, right? So should you lose a gig because of an unpopular opinion, you'll get another gig.
Yeah.
Like you're not in this, the desperation.
Well, I fell out with NBC because I had personal arguments with people that run the network, and we didn't see eye to eye. And I told them all to fuck off, and it was like, fuck you. And it was like, no, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm leaving. So it's like, I don't care.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I don't want to abuse people who respect me and I respect them. I don't want to take advantage of anyone.
Right.
But there's always another gig.
When you
Right.
left NBC, was there a part of you that, like, oh shit, they're letting me walk, or were you okay with it? Like, you didn't care?
Oh, at the time, I was so upset with them, and I was so anti what they represented. And now time heals everything. It's like, I don't care.
You're not angry with them anymore?
No, but I'm sure they're still angry with me. You know, they're the sort of people that if they saw you again, they'd,
Well, yeah, I
give you
mean,
the cold
Well, they're probably
shoulder.
not used to being talked to that way
that's what I
either.
was going to say. Executives.
They're not used to being talked to that way. They're not used to
They're
some...
not.
Right.
They are not. And they're so used to people kissing their asses because they want the gig. And usually it's actors because they need the work. And I'm not putting anybody down for that, but they are not used to people going, fuck you. And I had to sit on a plane with them going to New York in the NBC plane, and I refused to talk to them.
When now this is, so you had said fuck you before, and then you're in the plane.
And then we're at the show, and they started again to try and talk to me. So I told them again to go fuck themselves. And then it was like, that's it. Fuck you.
Was it something that they could have resolved and didn't want to, or that they couldn't resolve?
They handled the situation very badly, very, very badly, which could have been
Could've been
avoid it.
squashed, yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't choose to. And then when I told them to go fuck themselves, it was like, well, this is death.
Right.
This is going one way, and I'm going.
Because that's what executives like get off on is that they
want the
probably
power.
because they'd love to be the talent,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
not the
yeah,
talent. So what
yeah.
they need is that power of being like, oh yeah, well you think the talent's so important, they're kissing my ass.
You know it.
And then when they get
Yeah.
a talent, it's like, no, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
their worst thing. They can't have that around them.
And it's like, don't you know who I am? I'm the head of NBC.
Right.
Go fuck yourself twice then. I don't care. It's not going to change my life. What does that do for me?
Right.
Doesn't alter my life. I'm happy for you. God bless.
Congrats on the promotion.
Really.
Well, what
But
do you
get
want?
the fuck out my face.
Well, you guys have your own money, so you don't. It's not like
Yes.
you need the gig. That's a great freeing place.
But I loved the gig.
Sure.
I loved that
What was the
silly
gig?
show.
What was it?
It was America's Got Talent.
Oh,
and I
right.
Yeah.
used to piss myself laughing at some of those acts. They were
Right.
so outrageously funny.
Was it hard to be mean to the ones you didn't like, or no?
You don't have to, because I think if you're truthful, it's not mean. I
Right.
don't want to humiliate anyone. I don't want to humiliate them publicly because I'm on TV and I can make you look like a twat.
Sure.
I don't want to do that. And I would be honest that this isn't for you, really. You're not a good singer, or, that juggling that you do is shite. You just have to be honest.
Yeah, there's a way to let someone down with the truth and not go out. Some people like to go out of their way to be cruel to
I don't
performers.
want to do that. Because everybody's got a dream.
Right. Well, the people who want to go out of their way to be cruel to performers are usually people who wanted to do something else.
Failed
themselves.
performers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
They're people who failed and couldn't make it, and comedy is full of them, and I'm sure music
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And they like to, what do they say? They like to put their stink on things. They don't like when you can do something without them. They want to somehow influence the project a little bit or influence what you're doing. They're impossible people to work with.
So do you think that like comics that are kind of perpetually stuck right in the middle are the ones that are going to be the cruelest to the young comics coming up?
You are the bookers, the comics who will become bookers or become
Right.
comedy club owners. They're legendary for being
Yeah.
shitty. And
Yeah.
I guess in music it's the same. The failed bassist, now that he has a little power, is just going to be a scumbag to other musicians.
There's nothing worse than an A&R guy that was a failed musician.
Right.
Why?
Right.
What was the attitude good, or is he a know-it-all?
No at all.
And you just...
Yeah.
Because he comes in, I recorded a couple records myself.
Yes,
And it's like,
yeah.
but if you had done it right, you wouldn't be in here telling
Exactly,
other people how.
really.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you guys, when you have stuff like, when you get sued, like, it happens in life sometimes. Are you at a point now where you're just like, oh, let the lawyers handle it? Does it still scare you or no?
No, it doesn't scare me. What it does is, when you're hugely successful, usually people that write movies or write songs or come up with ideas for TV shows, those are the people that get sued.
Yeah.
Oh, it was my idea. I was talking to them one night
Right.
and I whistled this tune and they stole this tune from me. I mean, look at the Led Zeppelin one.
Oh, God,
I
yeah.
mean, come
Stairway to
on.
Heaven.
And, you hear about these all the time, and then, you stole my script idea and all of this. And anything that's truly successful, you'll find that there's a lawsuit somewhere in there.
I don't accept things like scripts. People go, could you read this? I'm like,
No,
no.
don't touch
Nope.
it. No,
I won't
thanks.
go near it.
No way.
Don't give it to me.
Nope.
Go to my manager or my agent, and that's...
Don't want it.
Because, again, you do something that's has nothing to do with it, and they'll
There
find...
was a girl in it. There was
Right.
one in mine, too.
Yeah, you stole that,
Yeah.
and then you wind up settling just to shut people up.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, yeah. I mean, there's been so many lawsuits over the tours, but the funniest one we ever had was, I think it was from Jones Beach, if I remember. Somebody ran up on stage, and the security guard pushed this kid off stage, and he landed on a girl's lap. She was sat down in the front row. And she said that she went to the hospital. There was no injuries, nothing. But she said that it ruined her sex life after that.
Oh, God, where did this foot go?
Really?
Now, psychologically?
Yeah, it affected her psychologically.
Because this man was now on top of her.
Yes. And so, listen, this was years ago. This had to have been 20 years ago. She got 85 grand 20 years ago.
Oh, my
Well, that was probably because to litigate, you're risking a major problem, and a lot of times they'll go, fuck it, just cut the
Yeah,
losses.
the insurance companies go, just write the check, let him go.
And that's why a lot of people sue because they feel they're correct, and a lot of people sue because they are relying.
The nuisance factor.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're hoping
Well,
you don't want to pay your attorneys.
That's when when you look at the lawsuit and you realize, oh, it's just lower than what it would cost to actually go forward with it.
Yeah.
This is just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something that's like a little bit draining, but you don't obsess about it and let it weigh heavy.
And do you know what I did? When we did the Osbournes, there was a guy who had contacted me about wanting to do a TV show with us. And he wanted it to be scripted. And he wanted to have actors working with us as a chef, as the butler, as the chauffeur, and they were actors and it was scripted. And to do it in a film studio.
Oh, so just make a sitcom, but
movie, show,
using
exactly.
you guys.
Yes. And he sued us. And I just got over my cancer treatment at the time. My kids were, so young. And my eldest daughter was even involved in it because she was in on a couple of the meetings that we had with this guy. And the truth was, we're not actors. We don't want to act anything. We don't act. That's not what we do.
Right.
And the thought of a pretend butler,
Sure.
and it's like, it's not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Cheesy.
So we came up with this idea and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, we didn't like it. The kids didn't like this guy personally anyway. And they're like, Mom, we don't like him. And it was like, no, thank you. And then we went and, 6, 8, 9 months later, we were with MTV. But he sued. He got $1 million from the insurance company.
Oh, my gosh.
But you said that one concerned you a little bit, or because of the timing of it?
I wasn't that well, and my kids, I'm not going to drag, my kids did depositions, and they were like, oh, Mom, what is this? What are we doing? They didn't, they just couldn't deal with it at that young age. And I'm like, I'm not dragging them through court.
Sure.
For what? This arsehole?
Yeah.
And I know when you were sick, I think, didn't Robin Williams come to your house?
He did.
He was it just to sit and talk with you? Or?
Ozzy had seen him in Patch Adams and thought that he was just such a wonderful movie, and he's such a wonderful guy, and Ozzy knew that I was such a huge fan of his, and so he called him and asked if he would come over, and he got into bed and told me jokes for a couple of hours and then left.
What a sweet man Ozzy is.
Yeah.
He wants the real Patch Adams. He knows you love Patch Adams, so he's like, let's get Patch Adams over here.
Yeah.
That is kind of nice.
That's really nice.
It's nice of Robin to do it too. He was a good guy. But I had heard that he had gone over to your house when you were sick and just kind of cheered you up a little bit.
When something like that happens, because you live in a world where you just interact with so many people on a day-to-day basis. Like when something like that happens, do you end up kind of being lifelong friends with Robin Williams? Do you see him once and that's it?
Our paths crossed a few times after that, and it was always, I felt a special place in my heart for him.
Yeah,
And
of course.
Always, and Ozzy too, and actually my kids knew his daughter. So there was a personal thing there.
That's the thing that trips me out about show business a lot, is that the higher up that you get on that ladder, the more you have these like super intimate moments with people, that it's just, that's what it is. Like to a lot of people that, a normal person interacts with how many people throughout their whole lives. And when something like that happens, or you fall in love on a movie set or whatever it is, like when those things happen in a normal person's life, it's like this life-changing thing and this relationship and blah, blah, blah. But in show business, like those things happen. And it's like, yeah, we had this kind of magic moment, and then we'll see each other here and there, but that's kind of it.
But it's like, we're not the sort of people in this industry that hang out with other
Celebrities.
No, we're not. And so when that happens, I'm like, Mrs. Normal. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. And oh my God, it's like, it's a huge thing for anyone to have that. For somebody to give you their time who doesn't know you, for me, is something huge.
Who have you met since you've been, because you're very recognizable, but who have you met that you were like, wow, I can't believe I'm sitting with this person?
Oh my God. So, that's one of the things about doing the talk show, that you meet so many incredible people in a day. It's like when I got to meet Debbie Reynolds, I'm like, oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
See, her, I wouldn't, I respect her because
Yeah,
But it does nothing. That emotional thing, it does nothing for you.
No,
just incredible. Don Rickles, and it's just, you meet legends.
Right.
And you're like, Jesus, this
Isn't
is
it weird?
unbelievable.
And they have to talk to you in a talk show setting.
Yeah.
I've thought of that too, interviewing certain actors. I'm like, this guy would spit in my dumb face at a party, but now I get to ask him questions and he has to answer them.
That's what I love that about radio and podcasting and all that stuff is that like you get this opportunity that now we get to sit in a room and talk half hour, an hour, whatever it is. And like, we're going to have a conversation. And everybody's going to be super involved too because they know it's being recorded. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be a boring conversation.
Do you think since you've been hosting a talk show that you're a better interview subject? Because I've noticed what I hate when I interview people is them not to answer questions or to be evasive or whatever. So like when I'm interviewed now, I make sure that I try to give real and good answers. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you notice like from the other side, someone that doesn't answer your questions is very frustrating?
Of course it is. And you just like, hey, throw us a friggin' bone, would you? Come on, give me something here.
Is there anything worse than an actor telling you how much fun he had on the project? You're like, oh, go fuck yourself. No one cares. The director's a great guy.
No. And when they turn around and they go and the cinematographer was and the director was and then, the producer, I'm like,
no one cares.
tell someone who gives a fuck.
You know who good interviews, though? Older actors.
Yeah.
Like we interviewed George Hamilton, who fucked everybody. And
Great stories. John Voight we interviewed. He's brilliant.
John Voight is an interesting guy because
very interesting.
Isn't he a non-union guy? Like he's one of the only actors that's not in SAG.
Is that right?
Yep, and he still can work because he's John Voight. Yeah, he seems like he'd be a fearless guy.
Yeah.
But George Hamilton, you're right, because George Hamilton, like I didn't care about George Hamilton, but he ended up being one of my favorite interviews that we've done since we started the show.
I bet the stories were unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And at one point he got so comfortable, remember, he just like looks around the room and goes like, okay, guys, start throwing questions at me that you don't think I'll answer. And we just played this round.
What did you ask him?
I asked him if he ever did, because he was talking about all his sexual exploits, and I immediately was like, you ever do any gay stuff? And he said, no, but...
The embarrassing thing was, I thought he was talking to me, and I yelled, yes. My fault.
Did you ask him if he ever did drugs?
We talked to him about drugs.
I asked him about condoms. I don't know if we asked him about drugs.
I mean,
we might have.
There's a lot of sex stuff.
Didn't he hook up with the president's daughter? Wasn't it like Lyndon Johnson's daughter?
In a jacuzzi. And he talked about being... Wasn't it JFK that was in the jacuzzi with him?
I don't know if it was JFK. I don't remember that part.
He talked about being in a jacuzzi with a president who he was hooking up with a girl and George Hamilton was hooking up with a girl. All at the same time in the jacuzzi.
Sounds like they were at Frank Sinatra's place in Palm Springs.
You think so?
A lot of great stuff probably happened there.
Amazing.
Can you imagine?
Oh. Yes. I don't have any fun friends like that. Like none of my friends have that kind of a... That's a dead era. That will never come back.
Yeah, I don't think it happens anymore.
No.
Because people talk so much now. Are you ever surprised when you think to yourself what a celebrity you've become? Because you were always kind of... Ozzy was a celebrity. And after the Osbournes, everybody starts, doing the Sharon impressions, and Sharon becomes this big thing. And then you start, finding these other TV gigs, and people just become fascinated with you outside of the Ozzy stuff. Does that surprise you?
It surprised me. It was something that wasn't planned. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have probably been horrible if it had happened earlier on in my life.
Yeah.
But
why do you think that?
Because the time of my life before, I was very aggressive, very, all business. And I think I was at the age where I had mellowed and could deal with it. But I would have probably been a right bitch, and I would have probably lasted 5 minutes. Because I would have punched everyone out.
You were higher strung back then. Do you feel because you had to be, because you were a woman kind of in this position in music?
Yeah, it's the shield that I had to put up to survive, You just have to, otherwise I would have gotten eaten alive in the industry.
I also love that the Sharon Osbourne that we know as the person who's had battles with so many people, that's the mellow version. Can you imagine the pit bull that was off its leash before all these television cameras were around?
Do you know what's funny?
Shut up, you.
The first time I met Sharon was, it's just, I've never seen your bad side. People who are like, have been on the shitty end of it. They don't say it's pleasant. But I remember we were all backstage at an Aussie show. I was with Jim Florentine and a few other people, and you were coming back, and everybody was so nervous. And you were nice to everybody, but people were like, I don't want to fuck up and get thrown out of here. We were just afraid that we were going to say the wrong thing and get booted. And thank God you were very nice. Yeah.
Smack. I would never.
You wouldn't, but everyone was just afraid. This is back in like the early 2000s.
I'm looking looking at you. You are so fucking skinny.
Isn't he?
Yes.
Thank you.
Once
There were so many words I thought you were going to say. Skinny wasn't one of the... Yeah. By the way, my legs are crossed is really repulsive. I'm wearing salmon-colored pants.
your husband once said to him that he had lost weight, and Jim got so excited that he nervously adopted a British accent as he explained he was going to the gym and eating better.
We pointed that out, but that's not what happened.
It was one of the cringiest things I've ever seen. And he wasn't doing like a goofy Ozzy impression like
No.
we're having a good time. He was doing it like in this moment he just became a child again and wanted to relate. And he went like this, like, Ozzy goes, "Hey, what have you been doing? You're so skinny." And Jim goes, "Oh, I'm going to the gym, eating better."
No, here's
and
the
it
one.
was just like, oh, Jim.
I was just, my mouth didn't open far enough, so the sounds didn't come out right. I'm just going to the gym, eating dinner. That sounded like
No, it wasn't. Well, we're getting the wrap up sign for you, Sharon.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm really glad that you stopped in, and I know Jim is ecstatic.
I'm always happy to see you, and you've been so lovely to me.
Always happy to see you.
Yeah,
too.
it's very, very nice.
And the end, which was their final show in Birmingham, comes out on Friday on DVD. The tour was incredible, and the pop-up store at the Palladium is on Thursday with really cool merchandise. Hopefully, some very nice people will stop
and
by.
Ozfest.
And
Ozfest.
that's right.
Yeah.
Who's on Ozfest? Do we know?
Oh, everybody.
Is that right?
Oh, really? Prophets of Mayhem.
Do you put the lineup together,
Yeah,
or you
we
do?
work on it together, yeah. And then we do it with Slipknot.
Hey, did you really?
that's right.
Before did you really pull the power out on Limp Bizkit one time because they were going over?
Yeah, and it was cutting into everybody's time.
Right.
So everybody after them had to give up 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's like, no, fuck you, kid. You sang too long anyway. See ya.
So this stuff you hear about Kanye West doing his diva stuff in concert, like that's got to disgust you as a promoter.
I always felt that there was something, that he was a very unhappy person. It was so obvious when you looked at his face. He was always very aggressive, very on.
Yeah.
And I always knew that there had to be something. It wasn't coming just like, you can't be this fucking insane.
Right. Right. And not be insane.
Insane.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
You can't.
We should also say that The Talk is in its 8th season, and it airs at 2 p.m. every day on CBS. Which, I mean, that's a big thing for you. It's cool.
Yeah, 8 years. Can you believe
That's
that?
amazing.
I've never gotten past a couple episodes of anything. Everything I've been a part of gets canceled immediately.
No,
Yeah.
no. What about the stand-up show you were in? The comics, is that still going?
Which one do you mean?
The one about the comics at the Comedy Store. Come on, you were in it on HBO.
Was I?
Oh yes, you were.
Are you talking about the new one, the Judd Apatow series?
Yes.
Yeah, the Apatow series, Pete Holmes series.
Oh, Crashing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was only in that one episode, though.
Oh.
That's not my show. I was only in it once.
I
Yeah.
like that.
It'd be amazing if Jim were on The Talk, because it'd be the first time they ever killed off a cast member on The Talk. Or we're going to kill off your character. You're like, it's a talk show. Yeah, we got to do it.
All right, we'll take a break. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank
Yes,
And
thank you
I'll
very
walk
much.
you. I'll walk you into the just to make sure you get there safe.
That's so funny. Thank you very much, Sharon. We're going to go to
Thank
break, and we'll be right back. Brad Williams is here, and we're going to see if we can get Mike Tyson on the phone. It's going to be a busy one today. Stay tuned.
Even the great radio minds have bladders that must be emptied.
Welcome back. It's Jim and Sam Show.
Yes.
We're
I got an answer as to why Ozzy didn't text me back.
Hello.
Hi, we're calling for, it's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We're calling for Mike.
Jim?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Sam.
Hey, it's Joe. Hold on.
Oh,
let me
hey,
get
Joe.
Mike for you. Hold on
Okay,
now.
great, thanks.
all right. We're getting Mike Tyson on. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, but I got an explanation as to why my text was not.
Well, we'll go. There's a lot
We'll
to
get into it. It was a very fun interview. We have a room full of comedians.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably
They're just
sitting here.
kind of hanging out, sharing mics, and
Who will only be able to hear half of this conversation.
Oh, yeah,
because we
none
don't
of them
have
have
headphones.
Oh, you don't get to hear
Yeah.
the legendary. Sorry, we're in this fucking
I
awful
don't get
closet.
to hear Mike pronounce Sam. Which I was really looking forward to.
Yeah. Oh my God.
yes, It's been a fun time here in LA.
I love it. I love coming out here. I just wish our studio was a little bit bigger. This stinks.
Yeah, today's a weird one.
Yeah, it's a weird. We had the other one last night. We
Tim,
did.
you there?
Yes, I am.
You have Mike.
Okay. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Tim, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm good. Sorry about the mix-up before. We had an interview we were in the middle of. Are you in LA or are you in Las Vegas?
I'm in Las Vegas.
I've been seeing posters for you driving around on San Vicente. What is it? What is the poster for? Something in Vegas you're doing or something here?
Something in Vegas.
What is it?
It's the new show.
The new stand-up show that I saw when I was out there?
Yeah, but it's a different one.
What did you do differently with this one? Because I knew you had added a few things in this last version that were not in the one you did in New York or on HBO. What is different about this one?
This one's totally different. It's just a whole different show.
Oh, you started from
Talking
scratch?
about different things.
How does it feel to be doing a
Hello?
different... Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. How does it feel to be doing a different show? I mean, it must have gotten tiring doing the same thing over and over every night.
Well, you get used to it.
Did you have to start digging around for more stories when you realized that this was like something that people were seriously into? You're like, there's not, I can't just do one-man show. I have to find more stories of my life to share.
Yes.
Hey, what did you think of, I'm sure you watched it. What did you think of Mayweather and Conor? Was that what you thought it would be?
No, it's better than I thought it would be.
It was better. I thought so too. What was your first expectation when you saw it?
That Conor fought better than I thought he would.
Do you think that Mayweather kind of had it in hand, though? Do you think that this was something like from the beginning, that he was never in any actual danger? He was always controlling the fight and kind of allowing McGregor to punch himself out a little bit?
Probably, but it was a good fight, though. He was throwing punches. He made the fight more exciting.
Yeah, he hit him with a couple of lefts. He threw an uppercut, I think, in the first round. But, McGregor doesn't really have much of a jab. Did you notice the thing he was doing where his right hand was just kind of sticking out there, almost like as a distancing tool?
Yeah, that was pretty odd.
Yeah, I think that's a mixed martial arts thing.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was one of those things where as a boxer you need a solid jab. So now, is this one of those things where you want to go on the road with this, or are you just kind of doing it in Vegas?
I'm just going to do it in Vegas.
And how long do you think it takes before you get sick of it?
What?
How long do you think it would take? Like, does it take a while before you get sick of the same show? Because if I do the same set for too long, I get crazy with it.
Well, I think it's for about 3 weeks. We do it for 7 weeks.
Oh, it's a limited run.
Yeah, till November.
That's nice. At least you have a beginning and an end on it. You know you're not gonna have to do the same thing for 2 years. Are you doing it in the comedy club? Where are you doing it?
I'm doing it in Greg Garrett.
Oh, Brad Garrett. That's where I saw you the last time. Okay. It's a nice space, and the theater is a little too, I mean, it's big. A comedy club is nice and intimate, and you seemed comfortable, like you were fun just kind of fucking around with the audience a little bit.
I had a ball.
The night I was there, Flava Flav was there. And I don't know if you remember when Flav came, but apparently he had been drinking a little, and he was shouting out to you and trying to fist bump you on stage.
Are hecklers difficult to deal with when they're Flava Flav?
Yeah, because he's heckling to have... Yeah, and by the way, and do you get heckled at all? Have you gotten heckled?
No, I do all the heckling.
You what's that?
I do all the heckling.
You do all the heckling from the stage. Is it something you're prepared for, or something you're scared of? Do you have any fear of it?
No, not at all.
What does scare you? Because you find like a lot of times people who are professional fighters that aren't afraid of a physical confrontation may be afraid of like public speaking or whatever it is. Like you seem to have mastered that world. You've mastered the fight world. Like what is frightening to you?
I don't know. Not being able to do it.
Oh, that's interesting. Like losing the skill, not being able to communicate with the people.
And hey, obviously Jake LaMotta died recently, and I saw you at the Beacon, and Jake was there. Did you have any kind of relationship with him, or he was a little punchy at the end? It was kind of hard in his mid-90s.
I used to know him for a long time. I knew him since I was a teenager.
Oh, you met him when you were a teenager? Where was it, like a boxing camp?
Yeah. Yes.
And was he helpful? Guys from the, I mean, when did he retire? Like 1953 or something like that? 55?
Something like that.
Did he never get knocked down or never get knocked out?
I don't think he ever got knocked out, but he's been knocked down.
He did get knocked out, just not by Ray Robinson.
Yeah, not by Robinson.
What did you think of the decision in the Canelo Triple G fight? You know, a lot of people are talking about that because to me it felt like it was pretty damaging for boxing that the decision came out to what it was.
Yeah, it was a bad decision.
How did you
fight again?
How did you score the fight?
I thought Triple G was a little bit ahead.
Yeah,
I thought so too. And a draw, I could understand, but 118 to 110 for Alvarez. There's almost something criminal about that. Do you have an opinion on that? Like, do you think it's something that someone does on purpose, or they're just not qualified to be a judge?
Well, some people are just not qualified to be judges.
You don't think it's one of those things where they're trying to rig the sport so that they can get that rematch?
No, I just think that some people just don't know how to do some things.
Do you enjoy, I mean, since you've retired, do you enjoy watching boxing, or is it one of those things that it's hard for you to watch because you're not doing it and you miss it?
If there's a good fight on, I'll watch it. That'd be a good fight on.
Do you still like going, or would you prefer to just kind of sit home and snack and watch?
I like to stay home and watch it.
You don't snack though?
I'm saying home you can relax with your feet up. You don't have to
just
worry
like the gym was like, here's the one thing. When you're at home, you get to snack.
I like
when
to
you're
snack.
actually there, you don't get to snack as much.
I enjoy a good snack.
Nah.
Do you snack while you're watching the fights, Mike?
Yes, I do.
What do you like to snack on?
On popcorn.
Okay.
I enjoy a good popcorn.
I met somebody, and it was crazy to me, but I don't know, Mike, maybe you know more than I do. Somebody told me over the weekend that they enjoyed, they used anchovy oil and put it on popcorn. They made anchovy, I think it was anchovies. It was the anchovies or sardine popcorn. And they said it was actually very good.
I can't imagine it being good.
No, I couldn't imagine either, right?
I don't know. Wait.
Yeah, I'm a little picky about my snack food.
Are you?
Yeah, I can't believe we're asking Mike Tyson about snack.
I think it's interesting. I'd like to, because at this, I would love to sit around snacking with Mike Tyson. I think it'd be a fun time.
Yeah, Mike, I'm a little hurt. I've never been invited to your place in Vegas. It would be nice to come over and have some snacks.
Have a couple snacks.
You're always welcome, brother.
Do you keep a lot of snacks in your house? Like Jim Norton, for instance. He's always like, well, he's watching his weight a lot. So he can't have snacks in the house because he's a little, I watched him last night with the snacks. He's a little piggy boy.
I'm a
can't
compulsive fucking pig.
Yeah. Do you, Mike, do you keep a lot of snacks in the house or are you a guy who likes health food?
I don't keep too many snacks in the house. I overeat.
You do overeat. How are you with being like, I'm really compulsive, and I know you have that same demon too. And how are you doing with all that stuff? Are you keeping things under control, or does something get away from you? And then
I just had surgery, so I gained a little bit of weight because I had a back surgery. So I'm losing weight now.
Oh, because you couldn't work out.
What snacks do you miss the most when you're losing weight?
Yeah.
Like when you have to lose weight, what snacks do you really miss?
Sundays.
Ice cream sundaes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of ice cream sundaes do you like? What do you put on them? Like chocolate sauce?
Chocolate, yeah.
Now, if you put some weight on, will your wife say, "Hey, you put a few pounds on," or does she not care?
She don't care, but she'll let me know.
So she doesn't care, but she won't keep it to herself.
Yeah.
So are you enjoying the new gig that you're doing, like the new set?
Oh, absolutely.
And you do it every night?
Yeah, every 4 nights.
You do it for 4 nights and then stop, or every 4th night?
Well, I do it from Thursday to Sunday.
Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm guessing it's one show a night. And it's at Ray Garrett's Comedy Club in, is that the MGM? No, I said Ray Garrett's Brad Garrett. Sorry.
Ray Garrett's, it's a much worse club.
Yeah, Brad Garrett's a good player. I was over there once. I saw the last show there. It's a really intimate, great club. There's not a bad seat in the whole place.
You didn't have to get a back surgery because of the time you fell off that hoverboard, did you?
Yeah, the hoverboard.
The hoverboard gave you the...
Is that really what happened?
That's why you had to have back surgery? Because of that goddamn hoverboard?
Yeah, the damn hoverboard.
You should be suing the manufacturer. That piece of shit hoverboard puts Mike Tyson in the hospital after all these years. You got to get a surgery because of a child's toy. That's ridiculous.
Next year, you're in trouble.
You know, people really enjoyed that video. I myself did not, Mike. I didn't think it was appropriate at all. But a lot of people enjoyed that video of you falling.
Oh, man, it hurt so bad.
Can you imagine, though, living the life that Mike Tyson led? Going through the battles and the wars that Mike Tyson went through. And he gets to this stage in his life where he speaks for a living. You know, he doesn't have to worry about this stuff anymore. He doesn't have to worry about the physical pain that is associated with some of this stuff. And then he breaks his goddamn back on a hoverboard. I feel for you, dude. It's not right.
I agree.
What exactly did they do to your back? What exactly had happened to it?
They had a fusion and they put some metal in my back and fused us my 4 and 5 lower.
Wow, that was serious. Hey, what did you think also? I've seen you at so many UFC fights. And, John Jones comes back, he wins, and then he gets popped, by USADA. I mean, it seems like it's really hard for the guys in the UFC because the testing is so strict. Is it the same testing they do in boxing?
Man, it wasn't that hard in boxing, but God, man, I said John Jones, he needs to stay out of trouble.
It's really weird, too, and I don't know, because he came on our show, right before he got popped, and he was talking about, how he had recovered and he was a different person and he looked different and he dressed different and he spoke different and just going on almost an apology tour about how his whole life had turned around. And then we find out, I don't know if he's just a guy who can't help but lie all the time, if he's a crazy person. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that stuff helps you lie all the time.
What was that?
Because drugs make you lie.
Yeah, when you see an athlete kind of screwing up, because you've had your crazier moments, do you do you ever reach out to those guys, or do you just kind of watch it unfold?
I watch it unfold sometimes. Sometimes people ask for help, I give my advice.
Sure. And you could probably see the train wreck happening before they can. If you see somebody doing something you were doing at one point, a lot of times you probably see that coming, and there's just, there's really no way to tell someone they're about to fuck up.
Really hard.
And then what we're promoting is Undisputed Truth Round 2.
Yeah.
It's at the MGM Brad Garrett's Theater, and it's only through November 20th. I'm definitely going to try to come out for that because I have not seen the new...
Come on out, brother. Come on out.
Yeah, I will. And last time I saw you, the last show I had already seen, and you really looked like you were having fun on stage and comfortable on stage, and it was very fun, and it was silly at times, and it was really fun to watch.
This one's fun, too.
Always a salesman. Don't worry about the last one. Buy tickets to this one.
Yeah, the last one is dead, Jim. Sell fucking tickets to this one. All right, so if you want to see Mike, Undisputed Truth 2 at the MGM now through November the 20th. And I'll see you sometime before November 20th, okay?
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Mike.
All right, buddy. See you soon.
All right, bye, buddy. Mike Tyson, everybody. Man, oh, man. And I'll tell you this.
He sounds like he's a little out of it, which might be from the back surgery.
Oh, yeah. The Undisputed Truth Tour, he'll probably be a little more verbose.
Yeah, that
in his story.
I really felt like you guys were trying to entrap him. You're like, what kind of snacks do you like? Sardines? Skittles? This is Sam from Sirius. What do you...
I felt like once...
I was going to say fruit by the foot. Or
once he got on...
controversial.
Once he got on the snack thing, I was like, I think we found something that Mike likes. Maybe we could just... Guys, look, because I forget what question I asked him in the very beginning, and I felt like it was a pretty good in-depth question, and I got a yes in response, and I was like, all
If you
right.
had to dig down and find other stories.
Well, also, out of all the interviews he's done, like Katie Couric never asked him if he was a Mike and Ike's guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
Who
we were-
knows?
We were heading down that path.
Yeah, do you guys know about his snacks?
Never.
No.
Do you know about his boxing?
Yes.
All right. Well, then,
So we
all right,
gotta
I
know
was
about his
doing something
snacks.
right.
By the way, Ray Garrett's, quick shout out. Rest in peace, that club. They were doing a 9-drink minimum, so those guys just never had a chance.
We should let everybody know who's here.
Yes, we should.
Jesse Joyce is here. It's
Yes,
been a
he is.
while.
Hi, gang. It's good to see you again.
Brad Williams is here.
Yes, he
Hello. And Brad, last time you brought your threesome partner, so I guess, is this your other threesome partner?
This is my
This is the one that didn't match with
Yeah.
him on Thrinder.
this is my heterosexual life mate. This is my podcast partner from the About Last Night podcast, Adam Ray. So,
Adam.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks
welcome,
for having me,
guys.
man. Big fan of you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
We have a mutual friend, Kelsey Cook.
Oh, I love Kelsey. Yeah, she
both
works on
from
the road with me.
Seattle. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I got an update, by the way. We were talking before. Ozzy was not texting me back, and it was very hurtful.
So we had Sharon in studio, and and I was informing Sharon that at one point Jim's gotten to do stuff with the Osborne family.
Well,
and
I got a text before you said, when she was coming in. Jenny, our booker here, called coming up with Sharon. She brought Ozzy. I was so
then
happy.
I mean,
you're just like joygasm at that
Yeah, I'm
point.
very happy.
anybody that was listening from the beginning of the show could hear Jim had something that we who know him and who work with him.
It's called an erection, Sam.
That's it's a physical symptom of it for sure.
Or as Ozzy calls it.
I will not tell no Ozzy jokes.
Hey, I love Ozzy. That's not funny.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, easy, new guy.
Yeah,
we were
kneel or
having
stand
fun.
for the anthem, but don't fuck with Ozzy.
For years.
When doesn't Jim have an erection, though? That's perfectly honest.
When there's a
Very
girl in the
true.
room.
When it counts.
It's called Ozzy energy, and when it's an Ozzy day, it's always very difficult for everybody around Jim.
Okay.
Very difficult. So when he found out Ozzy was coming up, and our talent girl came in, and she was like, "So would it be? I don't know if Ozzy wants to come in, but I know that wasn't clear with you guys. Like she thought that."
Like
Jim
it
and
might
I
not be okay.
Right. We said yes to Sharon, not this husband of hers.
Yeah.
It's not Glenn Close. It's
Right.
That's you check on that one.
But we were outside and we actually saw Ozzy kind of roaming the hall,
peripheral.
and he walked by and he was just like, "Wow, that looked like a weird part of the new Haunted Mansion ride." Like just Ozzy just walks by with a little like hunched over walk and kind of stares at you and goes, "Huh?" and he just keeps walking. Like I thought it was a bad NyQuil dream.
Did you smell him? He smells so good.
Does he? What does he smell like?
I don't know. It's the best cologne in fucking.
What do you mean? You've asked him before.
I don't remember the name.
How do you not remember the name?
I don't remember it. 10 years ago.
Well, so
he should have his own.
I know.
It should be called Bat Biter.
I wrote a roast joke about him for something once that was, he's so old now he has to get up 5 times a night to piss on the Alamo.
That's fucking hilarious.
Great.
so Sharon was in and you know Jim's gotten to do a bunch of stuff with the Osborne family, but he's just a super fan at heart. There's no professionalism, and so there's more than I would think, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But he got Ozzy's phone number.
Sharon.
There was
She said,
some kind of
"Text him."
question. Sharon was like, just text him. And it's about a year ago. And in that year, he's texted him twice with 2 specific reasons and questions.
Right.
Happy Passover.
He's got
And
he's gotten a grand total of
9/11 anniversary. That's
yeah,
it.
happy 9/11. He's gotten a grand total of 0 responses. No responses, and I made Sharon aware.
And so I wanted to text him today because he was in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
But so I snapped a selfie of me and her, and I texted him, and I'm like, come in the studio.
Just desperation.
Yeah, that should get a response. You with his wife.
I mean,
Yep.
that's
Nothing?
sad.
One
He
would
knew, I mean,
think.
he knew. He was in the building. Of course, he knows where Sharon's going.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knew that
He
she was
did.
in here.
Did she give you any insight into like what is his like trigger response? Like, is there like a picture or a meme that
Well,
he always responds
she
to?
didn't. But I went in to say hello after, and he was very lovely. He was always happy to see me.
Has he seen your comedy?
That's what he said to me. He said, "Hey, it's good to see you. You look. He's like, you're keeping the weight off." And he goes, "The opening to your special was so good."
Oh, my
He was talking
God.
about the De Niro thing, so he did see it.
That's awesome.
He mentioned, and she's like, "Oh, he's always talking about it." I was so happy to hear that.
Yeah, that was. By the way, you get compliment on that. Just
Thank you.
nonstop.
Yeah, thank you.
Unbelievable.
So was that as cool as when Ozzy complimented you? Is that did you want to be the follow up to the Ozzy compliment?
basically.
I needed.
How people go, did Adam Ray
Yes.
Ozzy compliment?
Yeah, I needed that. That was like a sorbet compliment, like a palate cleanser.
Sorbet compliments. I hear they're playing Coachella next year.
But
So we talked for a few minutes, and just about keeping the weight off, and about being healthy physically, and
why he slighted you by not coming on the show.
No, she said to him, "Oh no, I didn't ask why he didn't come on the show because he's come on enough. It's literally he's probably just relaxing and didn't feel like doing an interview, and that Sharon is doing the press. I didn't even question that.
Right. Is he also a big health guy? Did you guys share
He's sober. I mean, he's doing good.
What kind of snacks does he like?
I would ask him, and I'd get not only ask
Mike
him, I'd get them.
Ozzy likes.
Flying rodents.
So she said, "Did you get a text from Jim?" She asked him, and he goes, "Oh," and she goes, "Where's your phone?" He goes, "It's home." He didn't have his phone with him.
He didn't bring his phone.
Ozzy did not bring his phone.
So maybe when he gets home, he'll be like, "Oh, this is the famous text we were talking about."
Or maybe I'll talk because he invited me to the house.
Wow.
Because you should, but then again, I don't know if it was a real invite. He goes, "You should come to the house." And
was he like, "You should bring your co-host and like just hang"?
No, you should have come in there and said hello though. He would have talked to you.
Do you think he would have been like, "You guys should come to the house"?
No, you would have fucking wrecked my invitation. I'm so happy you weren't there. Sam would have fucking wrecked it because Ozzy wouldn't want to be rude to him.
Yeah, because he can't invite you in front of him.
Well, maybe he wouldn't mind. Maybe he would want me at the house too.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't. But I'm going
to. He's a fan of Art Garfunkel. And
he'd probably think that was a cool thing. Yeah.
He's kind of not with it.
Right. It's just cool to look at him. It's like looking at Art Garfunkel. I can see that as a thing that Ozzy would want to do.
I'm already checking what press I can cancel this week if Ozzy wants to have lunch. What will get canceled?
All of it.
All.
Yeah, anything. Come by the house. There's nothing I wouldn't cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same house from the TV show?
No, they left there years ago.
Oh, okay.
But she said they're kind of close to here now.
I think Christina Aguilera bought that house after the TV show.
It seemed like a reality show.
I know all kinds of stuff, man.
Go to Aguilera.com, man. Update yourself.
It's Christina Aguilera. Why would I not know that?
To be woke.
Yeah. Of course I knew.
You did know, right?
Yeah.
I met her once at Sirius. She looked good. I didn't like her hair.
Why'd you pause there?
Because I didn't like her hair. Her body looked good. By the way, how do you like being married?
Oh, thank you, by the way.
Yes, I would have gone to the wedding, but I wasn't invited.
Yeah.
I wasn't either.
Oh, okay.
So you just missed a Chinese dragon show. Oh wait, no, lion show.
Yeah, lions.
What was that?
Yeah, well, like because she's Chinese, so we had these like traditional lion dancers, but all the white people thought they were dragons, and of course me being there, they thought it was like a Game of Thrones themed wedding.
That's super dope.
And then but like all the Chinese people that were guests weren't very impressed by the lion dancers, but then the white people were really impressed.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was about a couple weed pen hits deep and some tequilas, and I thought one of the lions was going to definitely attack me.
Yeah.
Or eat bread.
It was a real lion?
Well, I thought so.
Oh.
No, it was just about six. There were like 6 dudes in the costume. It looked like a Jim Henson Creature Shop concoction.
And with that line, Jim put his hand on his
my
pants.
ball, my fucking scrotum.
He heard 6 dudes in a costume, and he was like, "Hold on, slower."
My sack was stuck to the leg. I had to do the old fruit roll-up peel.
Sure.
And your sack is stuck to your leg.
He had left it there because he was kind of hoping Ozzy would offer to unpeel it for him.
He'd like me to get that. No, he was in a great mood. I was so happy to see him.
Were you okay seeing him?
Yeah, it was weird. He puts his arms out. What am I going to do, not hug him?
You didn't mind pulling yourself away from the studio for a couple minutes?
I would have done it during the interview. If they said, look, Ozzy wants to talk to you, I would have said, you just talk to whoever.
How many people are on your list that would create that type of distraction for you from your regular business?
There's a few.
Me.
People.
Oh.
None more than him.
Yeah.
None more than him.
Not even a close second?
Are you still infatuated with Gene Simmons?
I just interviewed Gene last week. I love him.
We had him on the show last week, and
he was great.
About the vault. He's absolutely.
But how great was Gene? He was really.
He
good.
was great, but Jim is definitely in love.
I'm a fanboy.
Did he?
I'm a Kiss fanboy.
Did he call you a handsome and powerful man?
He has called me that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we just chatted. I mean, I've had him on enough, and I just got a nice Kiss photo signed. I was so happy. It's the Kiss when they're in the snow. Merry Kissmas.
Jim and I are very, very bad to be around each other because we're both just super fans of different things at heart. Like we're not
completely separate.
Cool. Like, but we're both like we feed each other's addictions that way.
We get it. Like I think he's a wrestlehead. Yeah. And that's not necessarily my thing.
A what?
A wrestlehead, sure. You know the term.
Is that wrestlehead?
Yeah.
Hey, all my wrestleheads out there.
You're a Hulk hugger?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to find my Kiss photo. Nobody wants to see it.
Well, then, Sam, you'll. I just did the Chris Jericho podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now that's a guy that I regularly text with. That's very strange for me because I was a huge Jericho fan.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. And because you like him because of Fozzy, right?
No, I just like him.
Oh, you just like him?
His band is really good though. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I just like Chris.
Yeah.
But you grew up watching him?
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool deal. And just it's weird. You get to a certain point in this business where you get to meet your heroes, and they say,
really?
Sometimes you do podcasts with them. No. But yeah, it's really weird that you have to and you guys you have to be professional as you're meeting your heroes. You can't fanboy out too much.
No, I mean
you can.
Yeah, because Gene.
Nobody. Very few people do that to Gene Simmons anymore, unless you love lunchboxes, a lot. You have a real fucking thing for lunchboxes.
Yeah. Do you know what you did for the tin box industry?
Yeah, I'm still a Gene fanboy. I'm a Kiss bitch, a Sabbath bitch.
You don't really have to be that professional. Jim kind of fanboys out about all his people, and I fanboy out about all the wrestling people.
And they don't mind.
No, they know.
I was gonna say they probably enjoy because all the other interviews are just so
stoic.
Yeah. Plus, Jim and I are we've perfected our crafts. And so they respect that, you know what I mean?
They understand a couple of professionals broadcasting, segueing.
Two guys, the segs that come out. Two guys that are that talented are still fans of us. Normally they're honored.
Yeah, they really are. They feel good. They
Nobody usually asks Gene Simmons about snacks, and he's very excited to talk about how many snacks fit in his new lunchboxes.
Gene Simmons.
I'll tell you about the brand new Kiss brand snacks that we're releasing.
Yes, which snacks?
By the way, that is a show that somebody could pitch where it's just celebrities talking about their favorite snacks.
Yeah, by pitch you mean steal from me? That was my thing.
Co-executive produce with you. Let me finish my sentence. Yeah.
Celebrity snacks.
Yeah.
Jim is very lucky that I care for him as I do, because Gene Simmons is a very, very easy interview subject to annoy. I annoyed him a couple times in our interview, and if I didn't like you, I would have just decided to today I'm going to annoy Gene Simmons.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
What kind of topics annoy him?
Just anytime you pull him off his topic, if he's on one of his little soliloquy rant things, and you just ask him mundane questions about the things that he's talking about that pull him away. Oh, he hates that. He would loathe the snack thing, especially if he tried to move on and then you brought it back to your snack thing.
Here's my callbacks.
Yeah.
No.
So I heard one time from somebody, he came in to pitch a TV thing to someone, and then it was the icebreaker for the meeting, and he goes, would you like to see me turn a $1 bill into a $100 bill? And everybody's like, okay, Gene. So he pulled out a $1 bill and he autographed it. Slid across the table.
Jim.
Yeah.
I'd frame it.
I'd stand up and clap.
Are you able to still be a fan, but see just how disgusting a thing that is?
Why? Wait, to watch a man add $99 to a dollar bill? Yeah, that's terrible. No, I don't. I think that's a $100 bill is phenomenal.
Chris Angel can't do that.
No, he can't.
No, he can't. I don't. By the way, Jesse, bummed that At Midnight is off. You were Jesse's such a brilliantly funny guy.
He really is. He was one of the writers at Midnight. And,
every comedian got assigned a guy to work on, and I would always want Jesse. I mean, nobody funniher.
Jim would always win. Jesse would always write for Jim.
True. It's true. Even the time I was on the show with him, he beat me.
Were the writers competitive with each other in the sense that I want my person?
No, because as in who would win? Yeah, for sure.
Because if Jim wins,
a few
then
of
you
them
win.
were. I didn't really give a hot fuck, but there were some who really cared that they're But I also because I only pick guys that I thought are funny. Anyway, so I didn't really care.
So that's why you didn't write for Adam Ray when he was on the show?
By the way, I did lose both times, but the first time I lost, Brad jumped out of the crowd into my arms, and I walked off stage.
That's right.
And that's why I was never asked back.
Yeah, that is a true story. I was not booked on the show, and Adam got eliminated, and I was just there to kind of watch and help out, and Adam just goes, you know what? I lost, but I'm taking my midget, and I'm going home. And I was like, fuck, I guess that's my cue. So I just ran on and jumped into his arms, and we walked out.
Did that get a big laugh? I hope so.
Yeah. Well,
the producers were like, I didn't know he had one of those.
Yeah. They're like, I think that's a union violation. We need a midget wrangler. We don't have one.
I didn't know, that day I was like, oh, I guess this Bowflex is working because I can hold a dwarf on TV. You don't know that about yourself until you do it.
That's a legitimate measurement of weight.
Yeah. It's a heavy ass head.
Where'd you honeymoon?
I actually leave tomorrow, and I'm going to Germany.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're
Beautiful tropical Germany.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going for Oktoberfest.
Oh.
You know, because we saw the protests in Charlottesville and kind of got inspired and thought,
Absolutely.
like, you know what, Germany.
They made me want to see the fatherland.
Have you ever heard of the Puking Hill there in Munich?
The Puking
It has
Hill?
I don't know German, but there's
That's
a
a
word for
great
it in
metal
German.
band name.
And it's literally just where everybody goes and vomits during Oktoberfest. And you just walk over there and it's just like a hill. It's like, it looks like D-Day. It's just a hill full of dead bodies. This fascinating to see.
This sounds like an origin story for a Marvel superhero.
Yeah. Look up the Puking Hill. It's fascinating.
And from out of the puking hill came
Oh, it's a great Fats Domino
Gene
number.
Simmons. What's that?
It's a great Fats Domino number.
Puking on the hill. Yeah. I went to some travel service to get all the stuff for the honeymoon, and they had us touring a concentration camp on day 2.
Oh,
and
that's fun.
The wife,
day 4 thing.
yeah, and the wife was like, maybe no Hitler on the honeymoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she's a fucking buzzkill.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking mayor of Bummer City.
That's right, Jim. That's right. So, did you guys kind of know that At Midnight was going to end?
No, it was kind of a surprise to
Yeah.
everybody. But, I mean, there was like, in hindsight, there was like writing on the wall. Like Hardwick is a great guy. He just is so busy. You know,
Right.
like
He's got
when he got
40,000
his
jobs.
9th show that he hosted, everybody was kind of like, I don't know, this is gonna, So like,
Yeah, he's still
they
taking
even-
gigs, huh? Oh.
Yeah. They even like kind of shaved it down a day, you know, so it was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is maybe not going to last too long. But like, so we didn't know for sure. It was still like a surprise. However, I was literally in the hospital with my son being born when like my phone blew up with phone calls that tell me that At Midnight got canceled.
That's
so like
terrible
So I
news.
didn't like, it didn't even like register with me. I was like, all right, I'll fucking deal
Yeah,
with
but
that
at what
later.
point did you
Like,
realize now that my son's here, I have to pay for him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so there's the
right.
money
I have a
that was
college
there.
to pay for. Or whatever,
Right.
Well,
but,
you'll
there were
get
checks.
a gig. You get a
no, I
regular
did
gig.
actually. So it worked out perfectly. I had like 5 weeks of paternity leave, and then I got hired at Kimmel. So
Oh, you work at
so I'm
Kimmel?
at Kimmel now.
Oh, that's
yeah.
great. I want to get a tape to him.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you writing monologue stuff?
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you must be so fierce at that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
That's
it's a fun gig.
amazing.
So yeah, he's a
So
great.
you got
dude.
your 5 weeks off paid.
Yeah, we did because
And
like,
then
it was
you-
to the end of the contract. So
Sure.
actually, I never didn't
out.
get paid.
And now you're working
yeah.
for Kimmel.
So it worked out.
I'm
Yeah.
fascinated with how Jesse can produce writing stuff like that. It's so hard to do, to be so prolific about subjects because it's part of the, like for me, I have to be like inspired to talk about it. But you can literally sit down and make brilliant jokes about
Well,
you. It's
thank
so
you.
hard, man.
The worst gig I had recently, I had to, I mean, worst in the way that it was the hardest. Like it
Gene
was
Simmons
still-
roast.
Yes.
I was so mean
What
to him
can
at the
you
roast.
do? How can you make fun of
Yeah. Hey,
a
look.
7-foot Jew Sasquatch who sells lunchboxes? And what is there to go on
It's an after-school
for a
special.
Trump-supporting marshmallow?
7-foot Jew, rich Sasquatch.
I said something to him during that roast. I forget what it was. It was so like I said something about how they're old and Kiss looks like the Andrews sisters, and I like to slam his fucking head in the toilet. I don't know why I said that, but he's like, oh,
That's really funny.
But you were saying the
Jess-
worst gig.
Yeah, no. I was actually trying to think about. I had a Peter Criss joke at that thing, and I can't remember what it was, but it was very fun. Anyway, whatever.
Peter Criss, drummers with 2 first
was-
names. Is that the joke? I don't know.
Yeah, that was probably the one.
That was actually really great.
No, I had to do the Tony Awards this year, and that is
Wow.
such an impossible bullseye to hit.
Yeah.
Because
Especially if you're not in that world.
yeah, that's the thing, and you can't find out about that world either because
You can't go to that many
because
plays.
Because I can't go to the shows because I'm in Los Angeles, and they don't want you to. They don't want to reveal what the shows are about on
Right.
their. You know what I mean? They just like tease it like. Oh, it's the hottest new show of the year, and it's like, great, that's helpful. I'll write jokes about that. Like,
Yeah.
what do you?
Question.
What?
The same way that I hear about the athletes for the ESPYs like not having a sense of humor, are the music
Yeah.
theater actors also like?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like everybody was so afraid of like you can't make any like so there was like a no Trump joke rule.
Wow,
which
really?
seemed-
Why?
Right? Well, that's it.
In a
'cause-
place where like Hamilton stopped
Yeah.
the show to talk to the vice president, you
Yeah.
can make a Trump joke?
Yeah. Like you weren't really supposed to do jokes about the Hamilton thing either because it involved Trump. Like
They probably
'cause
didn't
they
want
were
a
like
bunch of people showing up and heckling at shows. Or
they didn't. Well, no, what they didn't want was they said that if you mentioned his name, people are gonna boo. So like you can't even bring him up.
Plus, we're here to celebrate Broadway.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, it was so tough
You had
to
a hard
find
gig?
because here's the problem is like it's televised, which I don't know why it's a local award show.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
was that the Kevin Spacey one?
yeah. It's like doing a fucking.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Plus
like
you have to write
televising like the best RV dealership in Illinois. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't apply to anybody.
I auditioned for that. I didn't get it.
Jay Moore again.
So did you have to write the song? Because he sang a big song.
No, I didn't have to do the song, which was great. There was one moment
times in the song he was like, "I might be gay."
Yeah. I was. Oh, and that was the other thing too. It was like, don't do any gay jokes.
No gay jokes, of course.
But then
not.
the
And
song
yet
came out, and
he
it was like,
opens
what the
with
fuck?
that.
Like, I was
Yeah.
like, you know how hard I've been trying to like. It's like I was like,
And there was like these terrible moments where he would like be singing, and then he'd look at the camera and go like, "Because I've been in the closet."
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
So which everybody like wanted him to do, so it was great that he did it. But like it was like, so I got the rule that was like no Trump jokes and no gay jokes at the Tonys. So it was like fucking James Caan and Misery. Like they just broke both of my legs.
Right.
And we're like, all right, go ahead, write jokes. So it was really, and then the other thing is too, it's like you can't give them. Like if they all know the shows intimately and you don't know, like, but the TV audience has never fucking heard of these shows. So you have to give them enough information in the joke that the TV crowd will get the joke, but not too much information that it will bore the people who like, yeah, we already know what the show's about.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like really
How many
fucking
Rent
tough
jokes
gig.
can you do?
Yeah, but that's the thing. No, everybody knows what Rent is because Rent's been around forever. You know, like the only things that get nominated for a Tony are shit that came out this year.
Right.
So, like, who the fuck knows what's on Broadway this minute? No one. You know what I mean?
No, I know. You want to try to write jokes.
Jim's looking in the camera.
This is why
very hard.
I feel this is for the video. It's going to be very helpful to have me facing the same direction.
I didn't even think we were going to put this video out.
Yeah, you
Of course
were
we
under the
are.
impression that people will stick around for the first 20 minutes of this video to get to this part.
So what did you finally do?
Just putting the mic at the camera. Just some visual jokes for the radio.
What did you finally do? What was your? How'd you?
They don't sign you to like Kimmel or At Midnight, or not signing you to like an exclusive writing gig.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I've been able to like work out certain things where I get like permission to like, I mean, with that, I was working on At Midnight, but it was like, you know, like, hey, Kevin Spacey wants me to write jokes for him. So it was like,
I mean,
Did he know you already, or did he just know your reputation?
yeah, I like write stuff for him. Like,
I love Kevin Spacey.
How do you?
You ever talk about Kaiser Soze with him?
I've pitched him a few guys who's OJ jokes. He doesn't use them.
He doesn't.
Did anybody see the Kevin Spacey, I think it's called 9 Lives, where he turns into a cat?
I did not.
I did not see that
If you
either.
get a chance to watch it on a plane,
Oh.
I don't know.
and you're half asleep, do it.
I don't think I want to watch that movie.
9 Lives. No, I thought it was about a baseball
Is
team.
it a good movie?
Spacey's still great.
Is he good as a cat? I mean, he's a great actor.
That's
Yeah,
the thing. That's
little-
the question I've been wondering. I was like, can he pull a cat off?
And Kenny?
Yeah.
Wow.
You ever see Swimming with Sharks?
I have not, no.
That's
I
a
know
great movie. Him and Frank Whaley. It's so good.
How do you build that reputation as a writer? Like, how do I would
Gotta
feel
write.
Like, thanks, Jim. Well,
Well,
That
like,
was
you
Jim
know,
Norton
Jim
with Hot
fucking
Takes.
says it on the radio,
Yeah.
like stuff like that, you know. But like, actually, a lot of times what happens is people know the name, know that Jeff Ross does, right? They're like, oh, that guy, he's a big comedian.
Right.
I'll get Jeff Ross to write shit for me. So they call Jeff, and Jeff's like, I'm not gonna fucking write jokes for you. I'm a busy person. So he then will like, but you should get this guy. So that's kind of how
I
that
see.
works sometimes.
Because it's amazing. Because
So-
how did you end up getting the Kimmel gig?
Well, actually, weirdly enough, I did roast battle and I lost to this fucking goon. I don't know if you know who Earl Skakel is.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Earl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But you don't want to fucking roast battle him, right? It's like because
He's just like a wrestling character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't have jokes. He takes his shirt off and just jumps around. It's like it's like trying to
So he's Burt Kreischer?
yeah, basically exactly. It's like trying to roast battle
love
Burt
Burt.
Kreischer.
That's
It's like
not a shout.
it's like having a poetry slam against a rape whistle. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's impossible. You know
Exactly.
It's so fucking. He took his shirt off and just started jumping around. And I have like well written jokes that none of the coked up monkeys at the Comedy Store are gonna listen to. And the judges happen to be fucking Bobby Lee, Dane Cook, and Joe Rogan, the Mount Rushmore of shirtless comedy. So like, I had no chance to win this thing. So, but the thing is, the reason I brought it up is that Kimmel was there, and I guess he like remembered. He was like, "Oh, that guy's. We should see if he wants to write on the show." And then they found out I worked on At Midnight, so they didn't bother to ask me. But then, literally, like when At Midnight got canceled a year later,
They just had
they
that.
just reached out to me
That's
and were like,
fucking
"Hey,
awesome.
do you want to submit
Amazing.
a packet?" So like. That's what a
Do you
cool
have
guy
a
Kimmel is.
packet?
He like remembered me from a year ago.
That's
Do you have a
awesome.
packet that's already written up, or do you put new stuff in?
It was like I just wrote up like topical jokes for it. You know.
How many
So-
do you put in a packet? I've never submitted a packet.
What did I do?
You've never written a joke.
I certainly have. I just put
probably
my
like
do Pacino voice after it.
6 pages.
Yeah.
That's what writing for Kevin Spacey's like too.
Oh,
do
right.
Pacino voice.
He does
So-
voices. Kaiser. So you just,
Absolutely.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, well, you know when I freaking.
Who's that?
Great Spacey.
Fantastic. That was Kevin Spacey doing Al Pacino.
You're out of order. You're out of order. I like that one.
That's good. That's good. You're
Thanks.
trying to lead him in. You just
That's a
insulted
good
his
one.
impression. You're trying to lead him into another one.
Yes, I am.
It's really great technique there, Jim.
So do you write for him directly, or I guess you do, or do you write for, yeah.
Which one?
Or do you write for guys doing field pieces on Kimmel? Do you do monologue?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm just like one of the guys now.
You mentioned Trump at all?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's a little controversial.
Yeah,
No,
he's
that's a
very
little
cool about
much.
doing Trump jokes.
Yeah, he seems
He's
to be.
okay
Really
with
good
it?
about it.
Yeah.
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 He's great. I think he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
So.
I think, Kimmel's my favorite of the late night hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I were,
I don't know what the fuck you would do if you worked for like Fallon or whatever. Like,
come up with YouTube videos.
yeah. I don't know how you write that down.
yeah. That's. What if we?
YouTube video goes viral. Let's do it.
Although I'll tell you this, my snack bit would work great on Fallon.
sure.
Oh my God, that'd be a staple.
Oh,
He would literally have like Peyton Manning like eating a donut. Like what kind of filling's gonna be in?
Do you think I could submit a packet to Fallon?
Yep, you should.
What kind of snacks do you like?
I'm doing a bit, but it's kind of like what the one guy does. I want to do carpool karaoke, but with Harry Chapin.
I think that there's potential there. I think that could be really, really good.
Randy Newman driving a dump truck.
Yeah, well, you just do it. You just do it with guys who've been killed in their car and singing songs.
How great would that be?
So it's like Harry Chapin and Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah, fucking James Dean, even though he wasn't a singer.
It doesn't matter. Just
No,
put,
it doesn't.
So
I had
by the end, you're
going
putting
car
on
death.
quotes of movie characters until the person next to you realizes what you're doing.
Yeah.
I had a Paul Walker joke on the Bieber roast that made Ludacris so angry that he gave me the finger after the show.
Oh, what a douche.
It was
Did you say it, or
He
did
was
like,
really,
No, I
really
didn't
fun
get
and
it, but I wrote the
relatable when we
joke.
met him.
Yeah, well, like how did you
because
know that
he
he wrote
just
it?
gave everybody the finger after the show because he was so annoyed at that. But I was the one who was like, "Hey, see you later," and he just like drove by on a golf cart, and flipped me off.
What was the joke?
It was that all the press was about the late, Ludacris was in the Fast and the Furious movie, but all the press was about the late Paul Walker, which I don't think is fair because Luda, I'm sure you were really late too.
That's really funny. That's not even mean.
No.
That's not a Paul Walker is dead joke.
No.
That's a black people are late joke.
But Jim, you remember when Ludacris was in studio? He was a fun, relatable guy.
You know, it's funny. He really wasn't. No, Patrice
you know what?
annoyed him a lot.
I had
too.
to
He
like,
mad at
I had to
Patrice.
like
It was
prep him
terrible.
for that.
Terrible
And
interview.
he was
Stinks.
like, he had never seen what a roast was. So like he showed up not on time, by the way.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
he had to
Why'd
read
they
through
put
the
him
thing.
on it?
And because he knows,
Celebrity.
because he's the guy who discovered Bieber.
Right.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like
him and Usher, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, like he's somehow responsible for.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and you could tell that he had never seen a roast before because he did that one joke where then he like did a lap around the podium.
Yeah, he did. He took a victory lap after he did a joke. But he like gets the script and it's like I'm going over it with him and he goes, okay, so then I say this and then what do they say? And it's like what do you mean?
Laugh, hopefully.
And it's like, well, nobody says, hey, what do you mean? And he's like, okay, so I do this joke and then what do they say? What's their line? And it's like, no, there's no other line.
just you.
Just you telling
You
jokes.
that's why it sells your name here.
I mean, it sounds like he's not only unfamiliar with roast, but doesn't understand the concept of stand-up comedy.
Well, I don't know
At
why
all.
we're giving him a hard time because Fear Factor on MTV's never been funnier, and it's one of
That's
it's
true.
one of
He's
the-
doing great.
Is he hosting that?
Yeah, they relaunched it with Ludacris as the host.
Cool. Awesome.
Awesome, right?
Must be great.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, he was not a great interview. He was very guarded.
You know.
like, why?
Yeah. Like, what do you? We were trying to talk to him about the O'Reilly thing. We were trying to talk to him about
Almost
whatever.
like because he's come so far since then. Like we weren't
like-
shitting on him.
Yeah, does he like not want to hurt his now legitimate business or something?
Yeah,
It's
so
like, I'm not
he's-
telling
No,
these
he's
guys what snacks I eat.
Yeah.
Fucking nosy assholes.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
like Hostess cakes or like
Probably some creepy snack, tofu and cum.
Have you tried it?
Huh?
Have you tried
I
it?
hate tofu. Oh shit! Boom! Pow! Robots.
That's
what Tums are made of,
that's a
tofu
pop and
and
lock. That's a pop and lock. And now he's looking back at the computer. Speaking of Brad Williams and his relationship with Chris Jericho, we had X-Pac in here yesterday.
Yeah.
And X-Pac, do you know wrestler X-Pac?
He fucked up in China.
Yeah, he was the China sex tape.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
if you ever want to see two dudes getting it on.
X-Pac.
Okay.
X-Pac has he went through a long period of life doing a lot of heavy drugs, meth and all. I mean, his stories for days. But we ended up, it was X-Pac and Bert Kreischer and Jim and myself, and we were talking about just horribly embarrassing moments in our lives. And X-Pac came up with this promo that he did for wrestling. And he said that a writer wrote it for him, but he went out and did it. And he said he went in the ring in the late 90s when wrestling was super edgy and wrestling was cool. And it was chicks took their tits out at wrestling. It was and he said the phrase, we're getting jiggy with it.
Oh, no.
In a wrestling promo.
I want to hear the promo.
And he said it died. It died a terrible death.
Can we hear the promo?
Have you ever seen the mountain whatever wrestling league in West Virginia's promo from 2011?
Maybe, and I just don't know.
So great. What? It's like a local wrestling league in West Virginia, and it's each of these guys introducing their character,
Yeah.
And they're just so terrible the characters. There's one guy, he is scrawnier than Jim, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Diablo Jr." That's how he talks. It's fucking hilarious. It's really.
I don't like being the scrawny reference.
It's very funny.
What a great name.
Well, no, that's a compliment.
Right. Hey, I'm just glad there's a midget in the room and you didn't look to me as the scrawny reference.
You're not a scrawny. You're a squat man.
Yeah, he didn't say there's a tiny little squat wrestler.
Yeah.
He's wider than he was tall.
Yeah. That to me would be more offensive than the word midget. If someone called it we got squat over there.
One of those little
squat man.
It does sound like a
Well, it's not an insult.
slur.
No, it's not. It means that somebody's just wide, not.
Oh yeah, that's not an insult at all. You're just wide.
Fucking squat.
Send me the bullet like a squat man. I think.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Like a little barrel-shaped man. Not an insult. Just
Wow. So you had that guy and Kreischer on. How did you get the odor out of this room?
Freaking Sharon Osbourne.
But we did this morning. Somebody tweeted it to me. We found the promo. Do you want to hear it, Jim?
You bet I do.
Yeah.
A lot.
This is he was he was in this group that was it was DX. You remember, Brad?
Yeah.
And they were the Suck It guys,
Okay.
and they were the most popular edgy things ever. So X-Pac is doing this after it's a 4-person group. The other 3 guys have already had a chance to speak.
So they've all set the table.
And they crushed.
Yeah.
Boom, home
everything
runs.
they said, suck it. The audience is just yeah, you guys are the fucking coolest.
Sure, suck it.
Just really.
Yeah.
Really doing very, very well.
I will suck it.
You bet we're going to suck it.
Wait, what did I say?
Yeah. Huh? And then X-Pac has his turn. Let me,
Are we going to be able to hear it not with headphones?
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe
Let's
not.
see what happens.
You don't no other see if
Yeah, maybe you guys. There's an old expression: share and share alike.
Yeah. Sorry for knocking over your lady
Get over
sunglasses.
here, squat.
What's wrong with these sunglasses? They're fine.
They're
Go on now.
sunglasses.
Play this thing.
All right, here it is. Here's X-Pac.
This
is from 1998.
I'm gonna make this short and sweet. If you came to see the grumpy old man stinking the joint up, you came to the wrong place. Because what we got right here is young and hungry, baby. This is D-Generation X, and we're getting jiggy with it.
Did you hear the crowd die?
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami. It was
it's just the 2 of us in this ring. Shit.
We're getting jiggy with it.
And we're getting jiggy with
That's
it.
terrible.
He had to know the instant it came out of his mouth, what did I do?
It's really awful.
Those no sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're sniffing Gary Glitter's fingers. Would have got a better response.
That's that's like a pink sweatshirt logo, slogan that you can get at a fucking Goodwill.
That your fat aunt would wear.
Yeah, exactly. For an aunt.
I got you a getting jiggy with it
Yeah.
sweater.
Oh, good.
All the kids are wearing
Yeah,
it.
here's your Margaritaville hat.
He's in a leather biker jacket. He's got his cool guy shirt on. He's got a red bandana on, and he's like, all the old men need to go home because us young kids are getting jiggy with it. Am I right?
Fucking.
And everybody's
that
like,
was really bad.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
That was really bad.
We recently had Freddie Prinze Jr. on our podcast.
Oh, cool. We're talking to his dad next week.
Yeah. Oh.
Jim, I hate. I don't know if this is the appropriate forum.
Why would you go? I mean, he's never mind. Yeah, no, he's coming. He's coming.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
sure,
worry, Jim. He'll be here.
But we had him on the podcast. And
Freddie
we
Prinze
didn't know.
Jr. has done so much, though.
I've never met him.
That's still like the first thing that Norton goes to.
Well, I mean,
his dad killed himself.
Right.
Well, and honestly, I admired his dad. He was a fucking stand-up.
Yeah.
The
And
press stand-up.
we found out that he actually used to be a writer for WWE.
Who?
Freddie
Freddie Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Did he talk about his father at all or no?
Yeah, he did.
I'm serious. I want to know.
No, he did. He talked about his dad, and he talked about how after his dad died, and he would come around. Like he went up. He told this great story about meeting Richard Pryor, and Pryor came up to him because Pryor and his dad had a legendary feud, which I didn't know about, but
I never heard that.
I guess they were both fucking Pam Grier.
Oh, nice.
And Joanna Kearns, the mom from Growing Pains. Apparently, her and Pam Grier were at a house with Pryor, and he went over there, and I guess they were all going to fuck or something. And
And then like Freddie stole Pam away or something like that. So,
So it was just Joanna Kearns and Pryor, and then Joanna Kearns was like, so what do we do now? And he was like, you get the fuck out, or whatever.
That happened to me once with Charlotte Ray.
Who's Charlotte Ray?
Oh, she was Miss Garrett on the Facts of Life. I was in a party and
wish I would've gotten that reference.
we were in the bathroom and she was vomiting. I was going to eat her ass and somebody came in. Tony Danza came in and cock blocked.
Somebody took
Tony
Charlotte
Danza
Ray
came
from
in.
you.
Hey, that's my asshole.
Thank God I spent so many years watching Different Strokes in the Facts of Life. That was a funny one.
Oh, thank you very much. So what happened?
Well, like Pryor just came up to Freddie Prinze Jr. and just said, "Your dad was a motherfucker, but he was a funny motherfucker." And like they had that sort of like not bury the hatchet talk, but just like, yeah, I hated your dad, but he was really fucking funny. So yeah, that kind of really meant a lot to Freddie because he hadn't really talked to Pryor before then. Like he had just heard stories that they hated each other.
Right.
How old was Freddie when his dad died?
He was really young.
Really?
Was he that young? I thought he was that old. Yeah, he was.
I thought he was like 4.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
He found out that his dad did that when he was 13. His uncle.
Right. Yeah. No, he was very young when his dad died.
Yeah. He didn't know that his dad committed suicide till he was 13.
Oh, they kept it from him.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus, did he never see the movie Fame? Remember that movie where the guy's talking about Freddie shooting himself? Ralph Garcia?
I guess
I
not.
can't believe he made it to 13 without watching the movie Fame.
I can't either. That was a big movie.
Somehow
back in 1980.
I've made it to 34 without seeing the movie Fame.
Or achieving it.
Well done, sir.
He had that by the way at somehow. It really annoys me when I'm saying something.
You're finishing a sentence.
And I'm like, oh God damn it! It's like you're just looking at a shark and you're like, oh, I gotta just keep swimming. There's no place else to go. I'm not gonna survive this.
Yeah, though, it was a great movie about performing. You guys see it or no?
I've never seen
It's from 1980. Irene
What?
Cara. I know.
So Jim's the only one.
Back to the Beach twice in the theater.
Oh, I don't know
I've
that
seen.
one.
I've seen all the Air Bud movies. Have you seen
Shanghai
those?
Nights?
Yeah.
No, Fame, I learned something about doing comedy with Fame is you never bring your friends to watch your show because Ralph Garcia, who was the comedian, brought
not
his
a
friends and
problem
he
for you.
killed. That's true. No, not a love friends. And,
Lonely guy.
Yep.
Lonely guy.
Chip's got friends though.
Yeah, Chip, oh boy, we did a Chip podcast
We
today.
should finish your thing because I want to get into the Chip podcast.
I learned Ralph brought his friends with him, and they all laughed, and he killed. But then he was like drunk and alone. And Belzer was the house MC in the movie, and he bombed. And I learned I didn't bring friends for years. My family didn't come for 7 years, all because of that movie in 1980.
Because you didn't want to bomb in front of him.
I didn't want fake laughs. I wanted 100%.
And then you realized that it's just Belzer who bombs.
No, it was Ralph Garcia. Ralph Garcia, the guy's name. And I met the actor who played him, and I told him that. And I literally couldn't have gotten less of a reaction from a human being.
I mean, Jim, you have to understand that even for the people that were in Fame, it impacted nobody.
No,
you're
yeah,
the
you're
only
wrong.
person.
That was
No,
big.
but that's the thing.
The song comes from it. I'm going to live forever. It was a show for years after that. Gene Anthony Ray just died of AIDS. He played Leroy.
Thank God.
It's always the worst when actors do stand up in a thing. Like they just.
Well, he was supposed to
when they
box.
portray stand-ups?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
good. He played good. His opening line was, "I'm Ralph Garcia. I'm a professional asshole," and everybody laughed. See, we have a few amateurs in the audience. They all laughed.
I can't watch stand up
No.
in a narrative like a
Portrayed stand-up.
Yeah, because it's like I'm watching an audience enjoying something that I'm not enjoying on the level that they're enjoying it.
Right.
You understand? Like,
Now I know this is fake. 'Cause
yeah,
you also
it's
know
like, this
you
is
know
not-
what
I don't
audiences
find this
enjoy.
nearly as funny as this whole room full of people seems to find it.
And you know, based on your experience with audiences, that audience would not find this funny.
exactly,
Right? Like,
right.
I can do this.
You didn't like Sally Field in Punchline?
She was good, and that breakdown moved me. Tom's breakdown moved me.
Wait, yeah, what was the...
And the old guy goes, "I'm married to the lady comedy."
Oh.
Cool.
Did you ever
Good
say that,
show.
Jesse?
No,
Did
I've
you say
never.
that on the show that Kimmel hired you for?
No,
You
no.
know, I may not have won the roast battle, but I go home happy with my wife, the lady comedy.
So,
Just terrible. We should take a break.
let's break. I'm going to just go see if Ozzy's still in the lobby. Talk to him. So happy to see Ozzy.
There's a
bring lube.
50-50 shot. He's still
It
wandering around.
literally,
It is
He could be
highly plausible that
Yeah.
he's
Still
in the
searching
elevator.
for his car.
it makes
Yeah.
me so happy when I see him. No other person has an effect on me. It literally, I'm fucking so
that makes me feel good.
overjoyed.
He seems like the kind of guy who would. We're on the 14th floor. He probably pressed every button. He may have just gotten to the lobby.
Yeah. It's the only way he's sure he's going to get to where he's going. He pushes them all. You guys, anybody have, what should we promote? Of course, Adam Ray and Brad Williams are here together. They do a podcast together.
Called the About Last Night podcast. We just interviewed Jaleel White today. And so that'll be out soon. And then, for all my tour dates, I'm always touring. Go to bradwilliamscomedy.com. Adam, you're touring.
Yeah, all my tour dates are adamraycomedy.com. We'll be at the Irvine Improv Wednesday the 27th at 8 and Tempe Improv coming up and some other shit.
Jesse Joyce, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, weirdly enough, my tour dates are adamraycomedy.com. Also, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Like, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. Just follow me on Twitter. Like, I took some time off because of the baby and the new job. So, but I'll get back.
How old's
to
the
doing
baby
stand-up. 10 weeks old right now.
Wow,
So he's
brand new
brand
baby.
ass new.
So yeah,
sounds
I just got
awesome, man.
married. You just had a baby.
Yeah.
Adam just bought a new candle from Rite Aid. So we all have great things going for us.
What about you, Jim?
I just got my tours on sale now, jimnorton.com. I got Dallas and Austin this weekend, and that money is going to the Houston Hurricane people. And then I got New York, Philly, whatever.
You're welcome, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hasn't Freddie Prinze Jr. suffered enough already?
And October 24th, I'll be at the Highline Ballroom in New York City doing
Ooh la la.
Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast live. You can get your tickets at highlineballroom.com. Bubba Ray Dudley's going to be there, and it's going to be a very, very fun night. So do that, and we'll be back. I want to talk about...
A very awkward experience.
we recorded a Chip podcast today. Is it going to come out at the end of the week?
It comes
Sunday?
out next Sunday because the live one came out yesterday.
Right.
Being
We'll
extremely well received, and we'll discuss.
We'll discuss, yeah, because people do need to come into this
Back
one,
in
I
a
think.
jiff.
You just interrupted me to say back in a jiff.
Sorry.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, my apologies.
I guess back in a jiff then. We'll be back.
Jim and Sam need...
We're back on. Radio time has arrived again.
Okay, welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam
Yep.
Roberts works just as well.
Radio time is
Probably
upon
better.
us again, my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, radio time is upon us.
What? It's the Asylum still,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You know, Jim wanted to call the show the Asylum.
Yeah.
Boy.
I like sounds crazy.
Because, it's like it's a
Yeah.
bit of a crazy show.
No, I just wanted to name it after.
Because the lunatics are running it.
That's
right?
that's what.
That
yeah,
wasn't
that's
what I
right.
was thinking of.
No?
I get
No.
it.
What were you thinking?
I was going to also call it Crazy Nights.
Why? We're on in the morning.
No, but they're both Kiss album names.
Oh.
Lamer.
Well, if you think that's lame, it's a great segue to talk about what we did this afternoon, Jim.
Yep. Sucked each other off.
I thought you said lame.
So we decided while we're out. Oh, Jim had texted me.
I had to.
and he said, hey, man, I need to record a Chip podcast. Because here's the reason we're out in L.A. is because I had a WWE gig on Sunday out here, and Jim was in Seattle and Portland over the weekend.
Gigging,
as it were. So I went to Jim, and I was like, hey, I have to be out there for WWE on the Sunday. Like, I'd love to do some shows if you want to go out there. And then Jim was like, well, I've got to, do this and that. So we're doing a week's worth of shows out here because Jim's going to Dallas after this. He didn't want to go all the way back to New York.
Yeah, I figured why zip around that much, when you back and forth to the coast.
Just the industry jargon is driving me nuts. But Jim goes, but we're going to have to do a Chip podcast while we're in Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, no problem. I got a spot. Kevin Undergaro, our friend, runs AfterBuzz
He's
TV
got
out here.
a little joint out here.
Oh, you just bored the camera. The camera just went to
the
sleep.
camera's got a good view.
Limp.
Go ahead.
The camera lost its erection in the middle of your...
So we went AfterBuzz. They do like after shows.
They do.
They do like video and audio form. So that we were like, we'll record it there.
Sure.
And we
both of us
ended up. It was the most awkward Chip podcast that we've
it's amazing
ever done.
Chip is a cringy character. I was uncomfortable.
Were you recording?
People we didn't know. And it's the first time.
So they didn't know. Did they know who you were?
They know me, but they don't know who Chip is.
Here's what I did.
They knew you were doing a thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't understand why.
It was a bunch of girls that are like cute LA girls that work at AfterBuzz. And I told,
otherwise known as comedy gods.
I told Kevin, I was like, do not tell any of them what this is.
Right.
Do not smarten them up to who Chip is.
Right.
Do not tell them the name of the podcast because I don't want them to research it. And then even when we were there, I was like, get all the girls, put them in a different room where they can't see the show going on. And then Chip wanted to welcome them into the studio one by one as the show was already on. So like the minute they walk into the room, there's this like, they're in Chip world, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
They have no knowledge of who he is or what it looks like. And it was.
Have they met you before?
I guess I've met them over I don't even know.
But they knew. They
know of Jim Norton.
All except two.
Yeah.
Definitely knew who Jim Norton was.
All except two. There was only four. Half of them.
All right, that's more than most of your rooms.
So half of them thought you were Chip.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
And they were told, though, by Kevin, who runs the place, that this was a really big New York podcast and that this would be a huge opportunity for them, and they needed to be there for it.
Okay.
And then they walk into Chip being rude, making obscene bad jokes, and just like
wearing a crown like a king. It was an awful outfit.
All of them like tried to go with it at first,
right?
And within 10 minutes, they all had this same look on their face of like, this is a total. Why was I led to believe that this is waste of my time?
This is the worst Make-A-Wish I've ever seen.
How awful is that fucking?
Oh my God!
What are you showing them?
Just a picture of the Chip look like.
Oh. He's got his crown on because he's the
king of the live.
Now, how difficult is it for you in that situation not to break character?
I laughed a couple of times, but I'm used to doing it in New York at the Riotcast Studios. And Sam's come on a bunch. Anthony's there almost every week. Lauren, the producer. It's familiar. The energy is familiar. But with people who don't know Chip, it's weird. And I felt I was humiliated. Like it was really, but it was the purest.
You were the one doing it.
Exactly. That's
had
why.
The power to stop.
But it was the purest Chip thing I've done. Like people are gonna love it or hate it. A lot of people are probably gonna hate it. But if you like Chip, this is what Chip is like, unprepared and with people who don't know him. And it was cringy.
It was really cringy.
Cringy. People are gonna hate it.
Like I don't want to reveal too much.
I guess. To interview like that, Buzz Aldrin.
I've interviewed him regularly. I've interviewed him normally, and he's been like a dick.
Yeah, it would be like that great man.
Can you
watch him tolerate?
Can you imagine landing on the moon, but also being subjected to interviews by both Ali G and Chip Chipperson?
Like, what do you have to do in your life to like be legitimate? The best Buzz Aldrin thing though is when he was on Dancing with the Stars and he introduces himself to his partner. It's the creepiest 2 words. Like she says, like, "Hi, I'm Lauren." He goes, "I'm Buzz." It's the creepiest thing.
Good for him.
Like it was, but I mean,
He's been on the moon. He knows how to act.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think once you've been on the moon, you can Like that's how you enter
with a different swagger.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's how you enter any conversation or any room or any woman.
Yeah.
Just like, by the way, I've been on the moon.
Dig out
It's-
wearing your moon
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All those photos are Buzz. All those iconic moon photos are Buzz. 'Cause
Yeah,
Neil
photos.
had the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all Buzz. There's only like one of Neil Armstrong that first time. It's all Buzz
But
Aldrin.
Neil's the one who said the quote.
Yeah. Well, Neil's the
Yeah.
first one out.
Right.
Yeah,
Which they did on purpose because they knew their two personalities. And
And they
knew
thought
that-
Neil would be better. Yeah.
Yeah, because Neil is like a
He's a better
quiet
couch guest.
farmer who would not ruin this for
Yeah.
us. You know?
Yeah.
Like if Buzz had gone first, he would have ruined it for us. You
What
know
would
what I
he
mean?
have said?
Well, he would have like gotten caught in a threesome.
First man with a dick out on the moon. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So actually, Michael Loftus has a funny joke about that, about like that they didn't know who was going to go first until they got there, and so that probably was an awkward conversation on the way up. You know, like he said, "What do you think you're going to say if it's you?" And it's like, I don't know. I was thinking that like this is bigger than like us. This is more like a thing for everybody. So I was thinking like I don't know, something like one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. What are you going to say, Buzz? He's like, I was going to go with suck it, Russians. You should probably do it. It's really funny.
Did you have a moment though when you were doing the Chip podcast this time, which I guess will be out on Sunday on YouTube and Riotcast and iTunes? Did you have any specific moment where you were like, "This is really bad"?
Yeah. There's an hour of those moments.
All of them, the whole time.
I was internally dying.
You were.
Cringe.
It was the first time I'd ever seen it. Like Jim's broken his chip a bunch of times, but it's always because somebody's got a really funny line and he has to laugh. It was the first time like inner Jim was fighting to get out and laugh at how awkward he was being as Chip.
And it was okay. Like the part of me loved it too because I never get to do that. Like this is who Chip really is. He stinks.
Yeah.
He fucking stinks, and people hate him, and he's awkward, and he was trampling their lines and just
being mean,
rude.
Like the girls were like trying to go with him, like, oh yeah, and like kind of going with what he was saying, and he was just mean in response. Like,
Well, that seems like that would be very uncomfortable for you too. 'Cause
It was.
You seem like you were his handler.
and I also knew all the girls.
Oh,
I
really?
knew all of
Okay.
them, and I wasn't in
Not anymore.
character. Like I was like, yeah, hey girls, come on in, and like.
Yeah, and that's
Basically, you felt like Billy Bush.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, wow.
Come on the bus, meet Donnie.
he's getting divorced.
Billy Bush is getting divorced.
Yeah, for 20 years.
What happened to him coming back to TV? For like a month ago, they were like,
they paid him off.
a month ago, they were like, Billy Bush is trying to get back on TV, and just nobody hired him, I think.
Maybe
Somebody will
it's
snatch
too
him
bad because he's with Trump. The video with Trump. It's
Yeah.
just too bad right now.
Too much.
Man,
You gotta
yeah.
wait till Trump really just fades away, then he can take over.
That's the problem. Trump's not fading away anytime soon.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. Trump's not fading away anytime soon.
He's been handling everything really well though. I got to give him
Trump,
credit.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I mean,
NFL stuff. Good job.
Yeah,
he said
he
he said he would be more presidential. He's been more presidential. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
What a transformation the guy has made.
I mean, to
Get
call
those
out,
son of a bitches off the field.
call out the
God.
NFL player. Like, what are you? Not that they're sacred, but like it's so petty.
That's what it is.
He's a
It's
petty guy. Who gives a fuck what they're doing?
Doesn't matter.
Gives a shit. You have a little fucking.
But the balls too. It's like these millionaires don't know what it's like. You know what I mean? To fight for this country. It's like every line. It's like, wait, you're that guy.
Yeah. How would you know what it's like?
I half expected him to be like, I would have played in the NFL, but these bone spurs kept me out of.
Exactly. What does he care? He didn't fucking. And then the people with the Confederate flag he's defending, and that's much more anti-American flag than
100%.
the flag. That was the opposing flag.
Those are the people that were like, they rebelled. They said, we don't want, that flag doesn't represent us.
That's
We've
right.
made a new flag.
We want to kill people who
As
like that
opposed to
flag.
being like kneeling down, because it's like, yeah, that is our flag, but like right now, I don't really like the direction it's going. Not like, here's our new flag, and we're going to literally going to war with you.
Did you see the video of him? I think it was in Houston, where he was just talking about the aftermath, and he's like, "It's so great. It's great that I'm here and everybody's here." And Melania would have loved to have been here. God bless her. She would have, and she was staying right to the right of him, and she kind of gives a look of like, "But I am fucking here." And then she kind of looks at her friend and smiles. He straight up was just like, "She would have loved to have been here."
Why would he say that? Did he forget she was there?
He forgot.
I like she fucking hates what's happening. Like,
can't
stand
it's so
it.
great to see videos of like.
you think
did
she's
see
unhappy?
She was in like the Rose Garden today with like a group of kids, and she had to like talk to them
about
about
bowling, right?
gardening, you know?
Oh, no.
Like, and so she was like, "What are your favorite vegetables?" to the kids, and I really wanted one of them to say garlic, and then she goes.
She sounds like the villain that's like trying to lure the kids in. Like, do you like the candy pieces?
At midnight, we always referred to as Bram Stoker's Melania. I was proud of.
She's really sexy though.
Yeah, she is.
Man.
I could worship
She really
her.
is. You would worship her feet?
Yeah.
It is ruined for me because you know what I mean. Like,
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
just.
I don't care who they
me
fuck.
neither. Yeah.
What an awful person.
I don't care who they fuck.
Yeah, you don't want like a first lady on your.
I'd want to know all about Donald Trump's what his hips look like when he's naked.
I'd love to know that.
Yeah, it's probably awesome.
Yeah,
It's probably really great.
I want to know what it looks like where his back meets his buttock area. I want to know like that area because that's
Probably
where
fatty.
like
I
very
imagine it's
fatty.
like the scene from Coneheads when Dan Aykroyd is naked in the shower and he turns around. It probably just looks like that.
Yeah.
What do you think his go-to position is? Like, what do you think he starts
Missionary.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump's go-to position is just jerking off.
Or on his back now.
He's
On
so
his back.
impressed with himself. Yeah. Maybe if he does have sex, it's on his back. He's
Right,
so
that big
weird.
dick.
Yeah, he's not doing any work.
Yeah, she's a sexy girl, but she hates it. She hates it.
She does hate it.
Oh,
Did you see
Poor
she's
thing.
I'd love to
sued?
make love to a first lady.
They made they
She
put
needs
up
to
a
be
billboard in Croatia that said look what a learning a look how or if you learn a little bit of English, look how far you can go, and it's like a poster of her, and then she like sued them to take it down
Of
or
her
whatever.
image.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're weird. Like they sued about Barron, the autism, the video that said he was autistic. She sued, and the guy had to take it down and make an apology.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but I almost
But
get
it's
that where
fascinating
first of
how,
all,
like every fucking vampire village in like Central Europe is like this. It's like a victory for them somehow.
You're really
You know?
attached to this theory that she's a vampire.
yeah, I know.
She will
Probably.
like I just expect her to like in the middle of talking to just warn us of the curse of the werewolf anytime.
And then flies off.
Yeah.
She eats her own period. But yeah, I feel a little bad for her. She seems nice.
Well, I think you have a little crush.
Yeah.
You have a crush on the first lady, Joe?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I haven't jerked off to one this many. I fucked up. The point was going to be Lady Bird Johnson. That was the punchline. I couldn't get to it.
Bush with that.
Oh, yeah.
So you're in a much better space with your relationship, huh?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Jim was feeling very bad.
Oh no!
Why is that?
What happened?
Just a breakup or a pseudo breakup, and I was just
Almost breakup.
I was a pit. Yeah, it was
Okay.
a
Did it
terrible pit.
felt concrete, like it was done?
Yeah, man, and it was just like devastating.
Heavy.
Fuck.
But you saved it.
We talked for like 2 hours last night. No yelling. I've been telling people this too.
You didn't want to do a three-way call?
With who? You?
Yeah, I would have jumped on.
I would have. Couldn't have made it any worse.
Yeah, I'd come. I would mediate between you and your lady.
But then I fucking so I love her, man. And then I
That was out of nowhere.
but I do.
Yeah.
I love
That
her.
was.
What was only 2 hours? That seems like a good amount. Like sometimes I know
We've been
breakup
texting.
combos can go like 5-6 hours and even carry over to the next day. So
We had been
texting.
texting during the day. I think we had spoken earlier on the phone too. And there was no yelling or cursing. Like I had made my points, and but there was no voice raising. It's so weird to argue like that. It wasn't even an argument. It was like, this is what I'm disappointed in and whatever. Like, but there was no yelling.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never,
a lot quicker when you act civil, right?
dude, I've never done that before.
Healthy.
It fucking felt great.
No pillows thrown. Nobody
you get-
She's not in the room on the phone. No, she was,
yeah,
but
that's
there was no like fuck you, nothing derogatory.
Did you just end it because you felt like weird not having one? You're like, all right, I love you, but fuck you.
No,
too.
I love you at the end. No, it's like I don't know what we're gonna do. At one point, I said we have to end this. It's got to end, and
Damn.
I'll talk to you later and be well. And no cursing, anything.
But now it's okay? Or now?
Yeah,
Now you're back together? Where
Yeah,
is
we
this?
just talked. I mean, I didn't really want
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
But then I was so heartbroken because we're driving back, and I showed her the chip picture, which of course, then I hit the wrong button, and I deleted our whole conversation history.
He deleted the text. It had all their texts on
Oh,
it.
man.
Let me tell you something about...
Like every text for
In
the
the beginning.
history?
Yep.
Wow.
Let me tell you something about love-stricken Jim.
Yeah.
We're driving back and we're rushing because we're driving to the studio and we're going to be late. This was today. This was before the show. And he's going like, because we pre-taped one that we're going to air later this week, an interview. And we're like rushing back and he's like, oh my God, I just deleted all the texts. the whole way. He's like, well, can you get it back? He's looking for apps. I'm like, well, you can get it back from a backup. We're going back and forth and all this stuff. And he goes, okay. And then like we drive a little bit and then he goes, I can't believe I just did that. This is heartbreaking. And I was like, no, it sucks.
I was really bummed.
It does suck.
Yeah.
And then he rolls down the window and he goes, I think I'm going to be sick.
Well, I was getting car sick from looking down too much.
Yeah.
I get bad car sick.
And I think you were also a little bit like emotionally distressed and making yourself a little sick.
I was, yeah. Because this trip planning's on there, just nice things.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's what he was really worried about. He wasn't so much, well, a little bit about the dirty texts.
Oh, there were some fucking doozies. But I save every picture and every video. The first thing I do is I open it and save before I do anything.
But it was the lovey-dovey stuff.
Right.
That he was worried about.
Would you be more distraught over deleting that or losing a joke book?
Depends. A joke book would be hard. I've lost also files on the phone, years worth, man. I deleted it by mistake. I'm so mad at myself.
Can't get it back?
No.
He doesn't back up to the iCloud.
I hate the iCloud. I don't fuck with it. By the way, the iCloud, we talked, it's mostly the text messages. The iCloud, how come no one's texts ever get released when those things are hacked? Is it harder to get the texts?
Great question.
Because that's why I don't back up to the iCloud.
Hackers, that's a challenge Jim is throwing out to
But
you.
I don't know why they don't do it because it's not the photos where you want to see my dick or a bunch of other ones. Fine.
Yeah, my theory is that you just, because they're obviously files, but you probably need to load them up onto a phone to read them. Like it's not like
people could do that though.
They just save them as a Word document.
No, people could do that though.
I mean, it would be a lot of work.
If it was Tiger Woods or something like that, you'd fucking bet they'd want those texts. That's
Yeah,
a
if that was
scandal.
if you're deleted that, like how many times did your dick get deleted in that thread? A lot of times,
that's
I
a lot
imagine,
of-
right?
A lot.
Of the same dick just getting removed from the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I have no cloud. But I think I backed my phone up like a month ago or less. So I might have most of them. I'm just sad.
How long have you been married for, Jesse?
This time, 2 years.
So, are you a good arguer, fighter person? Like, do you?
I think that, well, no, I don't think that that's any one person is good or not good.
Well,
I
meaning
think it's the combination of the two people that make it good.
You try not to
Because
fuss and fight
I
too
was
much.
not good in the last relationship, and neither was she.
Right.
And in the current, in my forever marriage.
Right. With the child involved.
With my better wife.
Right.
My best wife.
You like this one better than the
my
first
favorite of my wives.
Okay.
We both argue well
Turned in
together.
the first one, got the up.
So,
Yeah. Who has
So
a better...
we-
no, I'm not going to ask.
Sign language teacher.
But
yeah, baby had to deal with this one. So,
Yeah.
Great.
do you? But you don't insult each other when you argue?
No, not really. No, it's usually resolved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an issue doing that either. I don't
want.
I don't start throwing around insults.
But here's the thing: you've been in relationships in the past where like it's been fighty,
Toxic,
right?
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're good or not good at it. It's the combination of the two people.
I guess that's
I'm
true.
also bad at it.
So
Get a text message. Somebody just check it.
Yeah, it's about like
Just in case it's the Oz man. Was it Ozzy?
No.
so disappointed.
He's got all your
if
deleted
that
texts.
text, if you accidentally hit delete on that, it's just you going like, "Hello."
I would love it if Ozzy texted you back and you deleted it because you got excited.
Would you be happy?
Oh my God. You have no idea. I also recently had a child. That would make me happier. Huh?
I deleted
So
it.
surprised.
Uh-huh.
Neat, good for you.
Yeah.
How
What's
old
his
is your
name?
child?
7 months.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't
Edgar.
as recently, but yeah, I was very happy when my child was born healthy. I would be more happy if Jim accidentally deleted his Ozzy text.
Yeah. I feel like I would too. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah. I don't know if this is like, I don't talk to a lot of people anymore because I fucking, since the baby and whatnot. But so I don't know if this is like a dumb dad story, if this is like a fun story, but we had like our first like scare with the boy the other day. Like,
What, did he play with a pink toy?
well, like,
Gender identity.
Sound like Kevin Spacey cat movie.
The baby knelt for the anthem.
yeah.
Oh, no,
okay,
Tommy.
okay. Not okay at all.
Not good.
I word him up.
Get that son of a
So-
bitch out of here.
So like when he cries, it's like standard. Like you know what to do. There's like 4 things that you do, and then it works. But this one time,
Does he
did
need to
not.
eat, sleep?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
right. And then it's like you recognize it. Like, oh, okay, he probably needs to eat or whatever. But this one was like not the same. It was like bad. Like it was like he was hurt or something. So like it was like at 4 a.m. too, and I had to get up at 6 or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck? And so like my mother-in-law's over, and like she's awesome to have around, but like in an emergency, she's just like a fucking goose. She's just running around right, like just terrified. So like my wife doesn't know what to do either. And like I go into his room to check if there's like a fucking rattlesnake in his crib or something that bit him or whatever, like a spider. And then there's not. So like we go online and
he's just wailing, right?
He's just wailing like he's in pain. Like it's a different
gas.
But there you go. So like we never had a baby, right? So we don't know how the fuck.
Me neither.
You just go online. You just but you're not also dealing with a fucking screaming at the moment.
I would not know he had gas.
So
punch him in the stomach.
We just kinda. So you just fucking go. I just googled like inconsolable newborn, and every article's like, oh, it's gas. So they tell you like you just got to take his little feet and like push it up against his little tummy, and then and then he immediately just rips ass, and then you do it again, and it's like playing a musical instrument. It's 100%. Fascinating. It's like fucking bagpipes. Like every time you can keep making it happen. It's really.
Should we try it on Jim?
I'm so good
Take off your shoes.
Farting another person now. I didn't know, but like it was like 12 times in a row,
and then he just stopped crying.
And not only that, he passed out instantly. Like just went right to sleep.
What a life!
And then
big gasser, and then you're asleep.
And then everybody at our house is like, what the fuck? Like,
and you're dad of the year.
20 minutes of that, and then just like he's just like sleeping like a little bitch. Just like, oh, it's so great. Anyway.
You panicked though, right?
Yeah, and then my wife went to light a match. We're like, no!
How many emergency room trips have occurred because of farts?
None, but like that was like my, it was like, I'm going to have to take an emergency room. I don't know what to do. And then it was like literally nothing.
Yeah, it's usually gas.
Yeah.
So,
thanks, Dr. Jim.
I knew it, but I
yeah, that was amazing.
Sure.
If you want to put the mic to your mouth instead of your chest, you
can't help it. I'm just a loose, laid-back jazz performer.
Suck. Yeah, we had
anyway. I'm
for a
glad
while
because I was like, I don't know if this is like one of those. If I'm now that guy who tells terrible stories about his kid. But
no, that's a great farting
story.
We were doing that for a while. Like he would go like every night for like 4 hours. He would cry inconsolably and hysterically because that's when he got gas.
Because he realized you were his dad?
Yes. He said, they see the kid that Googled his father. Oh, no.
And then, but that was it. It was just gas. It was nothing. It's just, you chalk it up to, well, babies cry.
Yeah, I mean, and you forget that I don't have a kid, but I have
very look like one.
Yeah, I know.
I do look
That's what I'm terrified about, by the way. I'm terrified about having a kid that can fight me at age 4. Go to bed. No. All right, that's all I had. I don't have a follow-up to that.
Get in your crib. No, he knocked me out.
No, put me down.
Get in your crib. You get in it.
Kid's gonna dunk me.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
You have to just get what we're talking about, the McDonald's play place ball pits, and just like anytime he acts out, you put him in there and just
that's it.
Fight him to the death.
That's it. Well, thankfully, and this is actually real. My wife has 7 degrees of black belt. She got 4 degrees in Taekwondo, 2 in Hapkido, and 1 in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow, she's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah. She just got that within the last year.
You're right. Your wife really,
badass.
Yeah,
but she skates that line between traditional and stereotypical Chinese. Like that's
they're at their wedding. They're surrounded by lions, just bong, 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 bong.
And then and then then I can't make Chinese jokes anymore. It fucking sucks.
Right.
But so like she has legit said that she wants to put like when we get a house, like put like a ring in the backyard, and that's how she's going to discipline our children. It's like what? You're going to fight them? Like
I think actually child abuse.
Yeah.
Just because you build a ring
for that
in this country.
Did I mention we're going to raise them in China?
Yeah.
Is she a big MMA fan and stuff? She must love it.
Yeah. She loves. She loves and she likes watching the women's division and
of course.
and just like seeing the techniques and stuff. And she can break down fights and point out things. I'm like, I had no idea that's what they were doing.
Yeah, she's a jiu-jitsu black belt. That's incredible.
You're just going to have kids?
Yeah, because why not? I don't know. But like I said, I'm terrified because it's a 75% chance they're going to be tall and 25%. Yeah, right.
But your life is good. I mean, it's just you're just shorter. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like you're still who you are.
Yeah, I mean that. But like we want to adopt a kid too.
What's the fear that the kid will get teased?
Oh
No, he's
if
a-
it's a dwarf.
Yeah, like what's the fear of it?
Oh no, I'm totally cool with having a dwarf child.
Oh,
He's
okay,
afraid that his kid's going to be an average size kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm that's what I'm afraid of.
Because he's going to be 6 years old and taller than him.
Okay, I
It's tough.
thought you were
Also
saying you're
afraid that his black belt mom might beat the shit out of the guy.
That can happen too.
Oh, you're the beta in that house
Oh,
immediately.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are talking about fights. It's like I just agree with her.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
because she can destroy me. It's like that. Like it's very weird as a man to know that like my wife can flip a switch and then I'm dead. Like there's no.
That's what they live with.
Yeah, it's like
I remind them too.
You do.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Brad, what's scary? Your wife
Although
would piss her off.
I've seen the girl that Jim's dating.
Toaster. I just flip a switch. You are out. It's lights out.
Yeah.
By the
Then
way-
you're toasted. That's a nice tagline
Oh yeah,
for that.
yeah. That's fucking great.
I think the girl.
Bond villain kill line.
I think the girl that you're dating could physically assault you.
Yeah, she's taller than me.
She's taller than you.
5'11".
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm a little shrimp.
No,
Do you mind
tell
it?
me more.
No.
Tell me more about you being a shrimp, Jim. Tell me more.
yeah.
Tell me more how tiny you are. Oh, it must feel
Yeah, do
so
Saint
bad.
Bernard scare you, Jim?
But it is. It's funny like to lean up and kiss somebody. It's really weird. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, tell me more, Jim.
Yeah. How do you? I mean,
I dated a girl
up.
that was taller than me for 3 months, so I get it, Brad.
He's complaining about
get it.
leading up. I like a gymnast trampoline to kiss my wife.
how
It's
do you do it?
nuts.
Does she just bend over and kiss you?
Yeah, she just bends over. And sure, she's gonna have scoliosis by the time she's 35.
Worth
but
it.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", and like every now it's rare, but like sometimes there will be like somebody's like 6'7" in the room, and like I get so uncomfortable.
Do you?
Wow.
It makes me very uncomfortable
It does. No, I get
because
that.
it's rare that it happens.
Yeah,
right.
You know, like I don't usually meet people who are tall, so like I don't know what to say.
Right.
in
6'4"
that
is a good height,
situation.
though. That's a nice
It's
height.
honestly,
6'2"?
I will tell you this, and not, but like I'm not being a dick anymore. But it is. I feel like it is the perfect height.
Oh, wow.
because- No. Here's why. Because people
said
like
knee
are
wrong.
like, oh, he's a tall guy, but it's not a conversation. Like,
Right.
I have friends who are 6'5", and they have to talk about it all the time. It's literally the tallest you can be as a person without ever having to bring it
6'4"
up.
is a good height. Yeah.
How
it's a
tall,
respected
how tall
height.
is Conan?
I
Conan
think
O'Brien.
he's 6'6", and
Right,
people
and
get
it's
to
a
talk about it all the
conversation.
time.
Letterman was big too.
So, well, actually, I went to China. Do you know Keith Alberstadt? He's a comedian.
Yep.
He's 6'4" or 3". We went to China, and it was in 2008. We were doing stand-up, and everybody assumed
military
we were
chased you guys?
Olympians.
Oh.
They really did. Like, everyone thought we were in the Olympics because we were white, tall guys in China in 2008.
There's an MMA fighter, Stefan Struve. I think he's like 6'11".
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a guy he fought 6'7",
Yeah.
and the guy was the shorter guy was 6'7", and then the taller guy was 6'11". Really.
Who won?
massive. The 6'7" guy.
Okay.
America won.
Fluoride in water.
Yeah. Voldemir, I think his name. That's his name.
Yeah.
To go back, I don't want to derail it or take it in a direction it wasn't going in, but I thought this was really funny today. Did you see the like the insults that Kim Jong and Trump are sending back
Yes.
and forth?
Rocket
They
Man,
did
you mean?
yeah, which are fucking lame. But like, what I think is so funny about about North Korea is that they insult you in their language. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like if you're going to insult somebody, you got to learn what bothers them. You know, like don't do it to what you think. You know how they called him a dotard? You know what I
I
mean?
think it's dotard is how you
A
pronounce it.
daughter.
Yeah. Well,
in dotard.
dotard
It's like
is
calling someone a-
better.
Dotard, of course, is better.
I just want it to be dotard.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
A dotard
So-
is a doddering old fool.
Right,
Fucking-
dotard.
the BBC compiled this list of things that Kim Jong-un has said to insult people, and it's fucking hilarious. He once called the president of South Korea an ugly female bat disgrace.
Bat disgrace?
A bat disgrace. Yes. So a tailless, crazy old bitch, and an old cat groaning in her sick bed.
You know, but
I find that shit so fucking funny.
But you know what? Like, Trump is really good at insulting people.
Yes, he
too.
is.
You know, and for some reason,
His
like
timing is kind of great.
the hatred of Trump has gotten to this point where we're like, oh, you know what? This dictator in North Korea who insults people is actually kind of funny, and it's like he's not even as funny as our evil
That's
overlord.
true. And the Rocket
Trump
Man
is
is
not funny.
Trump is fucking
He can be.
hilarious.
He can
funny,
be.
or is he just like, is it crazy
Not at
that
all.
somebody is
He's
saying what he's
both.
saying for the first time?
It can be both.
Yeah.
Rocket Man is a humiliating.
Yeah.
It is humiliating.
No one is better at putting
because
a humiliating
he sounds
name.
like a bully when he says it.
That's funny.
It's not in any way clever or
No, but
creative or
that's
well
the-
written.
That's the part that's
It
good
is-
though.
What-
is it's degrading to call another man such a simplistic child name.
Yeah.
Like he's got a knack for putting a thing on. He's one thing he's good at is getting to the guts of thing and an insult like Lion Ted, Crooked. Like those names just make people. It's
They're
a
not
visceral.
funny.
It's not funny, no.
But
They're
and
visceral.
he just pounded that into the country's psyche. So now when you hear Ted, like you hear Lion Ted.
Yeah,
in
that's
your
what he's
head.
good at.
It's
That.
like it's like a hypnotist trick.
He's one of those like shitty open micers that keeps repeating the same terrible jokes. You know what I mean? The jokes are not good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's not good at what he does.
I think
He's the fucking comedic timing of an electrical fire in an orphanage.
Which
I swear
means
to you.
perfect.
He is not
exactly.
funny.
That example, that's
Fucking dude.
What about when he told Hillary Clinton she'd be in jail? That was like one of
That
the
was amazing.
quickest.
the timing was.
I mean,
yeah.
good lord.
The way he set the mic down after he said it, like
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
For the Triumph thing, the insult dog,
Yeah.
we did like election specials and like we made up a bunch of names to get people's reaction. Like, what do you think about the fact that Trump, did he go too far or whatever? And the only one I remember I thought was really funny was when he called Joe Biden Cancer Son Joe. Did you think that went too far? When he called him Cancer Son Joe? People were like, no, he deserves it. Like, it's,
Man, you know what?
Yeah.
Dish it out. You got to take it. What?
I do like the fact though, and there's a lot of things he does that really fucking annoy me. But I love the way he is in the UN because the UN really annoys me, and I love how absolutely dismissive of the entire UN he is. It makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah. He sounds like a fool.
Trump does?
Saying Rocket Man
he
in the
sounds
UN,
like a
of course.
fucking fool.
But I like that.
exactly.
But it's funny though, right?
But I do like that he said that
It's
we
mortifying.
could totally destroy North Korea.
Yeah.
That's the only language that Kim Jong-un understands. I respect that. Good, fuck him.
Yeah, I don't mind it. And the fact that Kim Jong-un is like
He's a cunt.
hitting back or whatever, like that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to
He's been
fire
a
missiles.
douchebag for years. It's not,
Yeah.
they're not just becoming douchebags. North Korea sucked for a long time.
Where are you guys getting your bomb shelter stuff from? Like,
Oh, I don't mind. I'm just going to stand there and go, thank you, finally.
Did you do Iraq in the during the war? Like, did
Yeah, I
you
went
go?
over with Lori Kilmartin and Colin.
Did you go or like any of you
I
guys?
went, yeah.
You did. Did you ever stay in one of Saddam's
Yes.
palaces?
Yes, I performed.
There's one.
The Death to America Palace.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know they all had names,
Yeah,
but I don't
in
remember if it
Baghdad.
might have been. Yeah, this was in Baghdad.
Yeah.
Did you see there was this one room where you walked in and he had like a relief sculpture mural? It was like huge. It was like 50 feet high. And it was a mural of bombs that said USA dropping on a pile of babies. Like for real. And like the baby's arms were
Wait,
blown
where
off.
was
I
it?
have a picture of it on my Facebook
Legit.
page. But like what's
Inside
that?
the palace?
Inside, it was like in his dining room. Like he sat there and like ate oatmeal in the morning at like the
God.
one end of a long table looking at this fucking relief sculpture.
That's the secret. He's believing it, and then he can go and sell it to other people.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up.
Yeah.
But
Don't you hate when a girl says that? Go ahead, Sam. Bring it home. I provide the laughs.
Professional.
I wish you would. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks to Mike Tyson and Sharon Osbourne as well.
Yeah.
Of
Good to see-
course.
How long do we have Sharon for? About a half hour?
45 minutes or
Yeah,
more than a half
love her.
hour. Yeah. Brad Williams and Adam Ray, you guys are just terrific.
Yes.
And people can get even more of you on your podcast. Is that right?
Yeah,
Their podcast is great. I've done their podcast. It's a lot of fun.
Jesse's
It's a
episode
really
was
good
phenomenal.
podcast.
Yeah. Well, where can people get it?
AboutLastNightPodcast.com.
And on iTunes.
Yeah.
And Stitcher, Google Play. It's on all of those.
So About Last Night is the name of the show. Search it out.
Yeah, episodes twice a week. I've had on Jesse, Melissa McCarthy, Jason Drulo, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Jesse,
usually
you
list
really
it
got...
like that when I'm not sitting next to you.
We lead with you.
Yeah, Jesse Joy.
You don't even need the last name. You just Jesse, then
Jesse.
Melissa McCarthy.
The Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. And I guess, Jesse, you want people to follow you on Twitter?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, why not?
Well, what's your Twitter
I will get
address?
back to doing stand-up soon, but just at jessejoyce.com or at Jesse Joyce.
At Jesse Joyce. And you know, if you want more Jesse Joyce jokes, watch fucking Kimmel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got jokes for him.
Yeah.
Jim.
No one cares what I'm plugging. Just go get the Chip podcast. If you want to see me live, go to jimnorton.com.
It's really pessimistic.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I plug it every show, so they know.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be in the new Curb if anybody watches.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a hell of a gig.
Like this week?
What are you doing in that?
October 1st.
Was that?
Like more than an episode? You mean?
An episode.
Oh, like you're in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
What did you do in it?
That's awesome, but...
You were
for a
like, should I
second
be
there-
jealous? And you're like, that's fine.
No, it's not like...
Only one?
Well, the way you said, I was like, this week, and then you're like, no, coming up in the season.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
and
see,
so
it
I thought
starts-
you meant by that, like, I'm in the whole season.
Oh, no, I leave it up for people
I
to
thought you
figure
meant
it out.
I was okay, Spider.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
What did you do in it?
I'm not supposed
Acted.
to say,
Oh.
but it's but a couple scenes with Larry. So
Okay.
all
It's very exciting.
Oh, yeah. No, I turned that down.
And we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow.
Say
from-
mañana. It sounds cool.
I'm not going to say that. From Los Angeles.
The only role that you guys would ever be up for, that both of you could be up for, is alcoholic former baseball player. Like the both of you could be that guy and show up at the same audition.
All right. Well, if that pops up, I'm there.
All right, guys.
All right. We'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye,
for having
everybody.
me. See you mañana.
Thank you. Don't say that again.